Hi everyone, thank you for tuning into the Critically Challenged cast. My name is Jeffrey, and you know what? For like the past few weeks I forgot about the fake sponsorship bit that I was doing, but I think I'll just keep forgetting on that because I really don't feel like doing them anymore. They were kind of like a hassle to come up with. Instead, let's not forget to like and comment on this week's episode. Your feedback helps us make improvements to our content, and we really appreciate every little thing you say to us. Also, subscribe if you haven't, because we put out an episode just about every week for everyone to listen to, and you don't want to miss that. And even if you don't listen to it, have it on in the background muted anyway, so we can rack up some view times. Anyway, let's get into episode 14 of An-R-K Sons.
Welcome back, Critically Challenged fans. It's your boy C-Bugs here.
Can
back
you not
at it again.
say that? Because that sounds like you're just boogers.
And take
Put
two.
into like a form, you know?
We did used to call you Sea Booger.
Welcome back, Critically
We also
Challenged
used to call him
fans. It's your boy C-Poppy here.
And take three.
Jesus.
Because the other five.
What game?
Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
PS4.
Okay.
And take four. Wait, I missed up that clap. Well,
Look, you got it that time. There you go.
Welcome back, Critically Challenged. You know, I think every time it takes me at least 4 tries to get this.
Yeah, and I have to go through every one of them too.
Welcome back, Critically Challenged fans.
We're going to get on to
Christian's
Six
here. We're going to get it. Christian here. So let's start off. Curtis, I think you had the most fun last session. What happened last time?
Well, you see, I made a god angel robot, and I slew the stupid-ass dragon bullshit that was in front of me.
Something like that, yeah. It was something like that.
That about sums it up.
And you guys got some money. Or 2 of you got some money.
Yeah,
Money.
those of us that believed in the cause of the angel.
Maybe Biodo.
Okay, you know what?
We
You're
haven't decided
welcome.
if green
Alright, you wanna
was.
fight?
Green was.
I'm 3 beers in. Let's go.
I helped you.
You're right.
Oh,
out.
body
You
slam.
never
I was
responded to
getting
that.
the crowd
He does-
going for
oh.
y'all.
Wait, yeah, and that actually helped out. I
did.
didn't tell you guys, but that's why I only had 2.
My character just says like, can't believe
Oh, that's why?
That's why I only had 2.
Nice.
So I was gonna have 4.
Hmm.
He owes 17 credits for his mile-long margaritas.
Damn. That's all it costs now in space creds?
I rolled a D100.
Can we get that price secured in the States?
He got a group discount, like a
group discount.
a bulk discount. He bought the margaritas in bulk, so that's why it was so cheap.
How many margaritas is a mile margarita?
Do you really want to
so
figure
we
this stuff
said-
out or
He
what?
said it was. Well, they normally sell them in yards, and there's 5,000 something.
So how many cups are in a yard?
No, there's 5,000 feet. There's 5,000 plus feet.
Holy
So
I'm gonna take a nap. Wake me up when things sound better.
5,280. So 3 divided by 52.
All right. How the fuck did you remember that?
Jeffrey remembered that.
Oh, there's
Sure.
there's a trick to that. You have to remember 5 tomatoes. So 5280.
Yeah, I'm gonna crawl under the table now. Just let me know when I'm relevant again.
8,
Yeah,
0,
5 tomatoes. That's how
2,
many.
8.
1,760.
King Humpty Dumpty usually drinks chocolate milk.
What?
Yeah.
That's how Humpty Dumpty died.
If you hear Christian, can I have the marker?
There's 5,280.
So for the metric
feet
system,
in
if
1
you
mile.
Metric system, motherfucker.
you know how you have like all the different units and shit.
Sure.
No.
The way that I remember it, one of my teachers back in elementary school taught me King Humpty Dumpty usually drinks chocolate milk, and that's all of it.
What the fuck?
Kilometers, meters, King Humpty Dumpty, deca,
Usually drinks chocolate milk.
centimeters, millimeters.
And I shit you not, every time I take a test and I have to move decimals, I go King Humpty Dumpty usually drinks chocolate milk, and I write it down real quick. I took a test yesterday, and I wrote this down at least 3 times, and every single time it was with the chant of King Humpty Dumpty usually drinks chocolate
No, I
milk.
think we can now officially put ourselves as an educational channel.
Are you kidding me? That's what I've been putting us as.
Alright, so yeah, so you guys,
We gotta learn about reptoid terminal.
you guys
Yeah.
fought.
You gotta educate.
You gotta educate them, man. You guys fought, or you gambled away your Mason's
Also,
entire
before
savings.
we gambled, we had to escape from where we had last fought
Mhm.
that chick, which I
Hisori,
don't
yeah.
remember her name. Yeah, Hisori.
Sorry.
And we ended up splitting up. I just kind of teleported out of there and made it to the back of the church, which was awesome. and then I left. The rest went as one group, and I guess the teleporter depended upon how many people were teleporting at once as to where your location would go.
That is correct.
So they ended up back at Hisoria's like office area, where all the Aeon guards were and stuff,
Pretty
and
close.
they individually teleported out. Or actually, no, it wasn't. It wasn't there. It was at the beginning.
Isn't that like the lobby area, reception
Yeah.
area?
Then we went from there to the BattleBots.
Yes. Well, essentially, yeah, some stuff in between.
I mean, yeah. Well, we went back to the ship and did some stuff, but the next notable event was BattleBots. The only notable event.
Yes, for Timothy, the only notable event was BattleBots. Noki went and talked to some people, found some information.
At the university.
Yeah, at the university. Noki, actually, go ahead and make me.
That's right. I ended up hacking into that for you or something, didn't I?
Yeah.
You can make me a culture check, or never mind, just a raw intelligence check.
That's a 12.
Told you I brought it from
12?
for today.
Okay.
That's a 19.
No. 12 is. So,
Can I roll something?
what do you want to roll?
I don't know, man. You tell me.
Okay, so it's going to take you the majority of the time on the ship. Oh, speaking of on the ship, Curtis, you can roll a piloting check for me.
All right, Captain.
See how long it takes you guys to get
I thought I
to.
was the captain.
Can I take a 1 on that?
If you want to take the longest, you can just not do drift travel and just take I think it'll be about a week because it's about a week between planets. So it'll be about a week.
All right, we're doing that.
All right, then. So you guys,
Pilot has decided we're taking the slow route because I need to do some more research to make my new weaponry. I got items that
That's
I'm
fine
trying to
because
find.
I need to read
Thoughts of
through
grandeur, you know?
Chisix's stuff. Emails.
oh,
Did you get my emails?
yes, and it's not. Oh, it was just it was Saz who sent the email, but yes.
Did
Yes,
Saz
And we translated
translate
it.
them for us?
A lot of that stuff, some of it was translated. He did his best. Saz does his best to the remainder of the stuff that's not translated. And I can tell you a lot of that stuff. Before that, Jeffrey, do you want to do anything? The pilot has chosen to take the longest route possible to.
Would you like to try to
Aballon.
convince me to not?
No, I'm good. Why would
Because
I
I'm
rush
doing
it?
yoga on the ship.
Yeah, we
You're
can
doing
hold
yoga?
yoga on the ship.
Yeah.
All right.
Because remember,
I'm
we do
down.
have that
Let's try
back
it.
area
Let's
that's
figure it out.
completely empty.
All right.
Because we haven't
Yeah.
collected as many heads of monsters.
And I'm sure we're
yet.
all pretty stressed out about
Is
everything.
that what you wanted to use that
Yeah,
area
trophy
for?
room.
Can I put robot heads up there?
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, those
Can
are
I just
monsters too.
make monster
sometimes.
heads? Well, no, just can
Oh,
I
you
just,
want to make them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll look cool as shit,
clear
man.
out
Go
the
ahead.
tables.
Yeah, dude.
But only one of them, because we have 2 rooms. The other room is.
Can I just make it like a full scale angel thing?
I don't think we have the room for that actually.
Are you sure?
It's to scale.
It's not
To
that
scale, not to
scale,
size.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, the scale. I mean,
Yeah, to scale.
I
not
would
to
just make
size.
it take up the whole cargo area.
All right, I guess we're starting off in the ship now. You can just put that in the lobby area. I meant the microphone, but whatever.
Hey,
Okay.
Acheron. You got any food?
Nah, it's-
Food?
So I guess one's
Huh?
only
Oil?
work for
You want me to cook
noise
for you?
reduction.
Yeah, I ran out of protein.
Oh,
bars.
I'm sorry. What happened to that can of oil that I offered you the other day, and then you just kind of didn't drink it?
Well, I mean, I don't drink oil. That's why I put
It was
on my
olive
face.
oil.
It was a
I got
moisturizer.
you.
I put it on my face.
It was olive oil. That's good
Look,
for
man,
you.
I
You
was
can drink it.
creaking. I was creaking.
That's fair. I guess I'll have to go cook with whatever's left in the fridge.
Oh yeah, I guess
Do we
Byoto.
not have food?
No.
Yeah, he'll be in his room. And
He'll
Saz
be-
will also be in his room.
We don't have food?
No, we do have food.
Why would we start a journey if we don't have food?
Well,
He didn't expect you guys.
Who's the girl?
that's me.
Oh, that makes
Thank you
sense.
for noticing.
Are you
think one
kidding
of
me?
these
I give
is-
all my
Where's the
characters.
little girl?
I give all my characters thick thighs. I need to have somebody with thick thighs.
Look,
so...
just because you got thick thighs doesn't mean that you've got the feminine qualities.
Speaking of feminine qualities, I was
kidding
gonna
me?
have
Everybody in
a
high school said I had
um,
girl legs.
what's it called? A vision for Zaz, but he's not here today. Mason's not here today, so he's just gonna be in his room having this super awesome,
This dope ass
this
vision.
dope ass
He's actually
vision
just on
for
a
a
fucking
week.
trip.
By himself.
He's been
by
doing
himself.
shrooms.
So that's
He's gonna
where,
come walk
that's
out and be
where
like, guys,
Zaz is right now.
Guys, you
on the
wouldn't
ship.
believe
Yeah.
this shit.
He's gonna be so woke when he comes out of there.
So next session we're gonna have that vision
Next
trip.
time.
Next time we'll have that vision trip. All right, so
Excuse me.
you guys, just take off. You guys have decided to take the longest route possible to Aballon. You guys all have your own things to do.
That's right.
There's
Yeah.
some
So there's some changes to the mechanic, and so it fits with what I want Timothy to be. To choose the
And
weapon.
we will reveal that later.
just like his weapon and stuff later.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I mean, I don't see any reason why I'd be like parading it around right
You're not
now.
gonna just like walk
Yeah.
into the kitchen like, hey, Akron, check this out.
Yeah. Vroom, 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 vroom. Hey man, I wouldn't damage my ship like that.
It's true, he wouldn't.
Yeah.
I built this damn
He
thing. I had to
cares
fucking
about it
fix
more
it.
than us.
So okay.
That is
so,
true a lot of the time.
Okay, so go ahead and make me an engineering check. See how long it takes you. Now that you have this strange
how
metal, the metal that you, or the process at least, you're still working on, but this is definitely what you need to make the weapon that you
Okay.
have been trying to make, your
32.
prototype weapon. 32. Yeah. So it takes you a couple of days to just like perfectly get the process down. You will also start off with 64 rounds of ammunition.
Whoa.
Nice.
Is that gun say like it's one light bulk is 10? 10
Okay.
You can make 10 rounds out of it.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have 64 rounds of ammunition for your weapon. But this metal that you discovered on the gray ship finally unlocks what you needed to start making this weapon that you've been trying to make
when
for,
you talk
for a long
about the
time.
gray metal, is that like the
That's
abduction
the
metal?
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
glass metal kind of
Yeah. Okay.
combination.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Every time you keep saying glass metal, I'm like, what the fuck is that supposed to be?
Hey, look, man. There's composite
aliens.
materials, all right.
It's aliens.
I mean,
man.
it could just be really flexible glass if that's the case, but like also sturdy.
You want something real wild? There's insulation. That's essentially just rocks turned into fiber,
Yeah.
Rock
wound into
factory.
insulation. So I mean, if you just want to start hitting up weird shit, that
the
shit
weirdest
exists.
stuff is real glass is actually a liquid.
Yes,
So
What the fuck?
and
we, live
glass
in-
is a ceramic.
we live in the fucking future, bro.
Ain't that some wild shit?
I'm losing my fucking mind. Let's move on.
You know, quartz is see through.
Stop. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of course.
of
sapphire.
course,
Of course, I see
course.
through it.
Of course.
But yes, quartz is see-through. Yeah,
Nobody
yeah.
says you don't learn on Critically Challenged. Further, so Noki, it
Excuse
takes you probably a good like 6 days to just go through, and it's just because it's just like the sheer volume of it, and most of it is in like semi-translated languages. A lot of it is actually like hieroglyphics. A lot of it actually comes from you like piecing together everything, and then either like referencing it to what you already know, or referencing it to another form, like facts and stuff that you get from all the information. You already know that Nyarlathotep and the Creeping Chaos are synonymous. You already know that they are some like chaos trickster type god. Some information. I think you already knew this one. Originally established on like Galarian, which is like the Earth analog. Some of the stuff you don't know.
Wait, it was originally
Yeah,
established.
so he was like
And-
the original like worship was on essentially like Earth.
Right, and then that's the planet that kind of like has disappeared.
That
Nobody really
disappeared,
knows what happened with it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, nobody knows what happened. It happened around the same time as the Gap. You also know that there was a small church on Castrovel. It had been destroyed roughly, I want to say about like 20, 30 years ago. You know that, or you get the information that a lot, Nyarlathotep was famous for like disguising himself as other gods and having as other gods and having like people believe they were worshiping one god, but they were actually worshiping Nyarlathotep.
What if it's the sun?
Sarenrae?
The sun
Yes.
point.
Or not the what's the other one that's really big that with the cape and the wings?
Iomide?
Iomide.
So you know that Nyarlathotep was famous for doing that. Part of his kind of like trickery and chaos and stuff, having like factions of the same religion fight themselves. You also know that he has gone through many different like depictions and
Just like
he's like
when
known
you
by
say
different
he's
names
okay.
throughout like history. So sometimes he's known as like the Pupan Chaos.
Do I gather any other ones than the ones that I know?
So there's like the Black Pharaoh. There's
Which makes sense because you said something about it like some Egyptian shit.
yeah. So it would have been, and then the Ankh is also an Egyptian symbol.
Oh wait, I don't know this.
Oh yeah, but I mean, so his symbols of worship are either a black or a black inverted Ankh or a golden Ankh. Those are his two kind of like main symbols throughout history, and that's how we know that these depictions are of
We've seen them before. Was it when we had like those masks with the first one with the reptilian court? Is that when we saw it?
Yeah, on the journals for the
Okay.
the reptilians, they had the Ankhs on them.
Okay.
The Ankhs, the god stuff. Let me think. You know that a lot of the worshippers to Nyarlathotep have developed, for lack of better words, like reality warping powers, able to change and pull stuff from other realities. Currently, most commonly referred to as witch warpers. Sometimes they were called as witches, warpers. The most recent.
But those are only his worshippers, or is it just the majority of his worshippers?
Yeah, it's like the majority of his worshippers. That seems to be like how a lot of other gods, they give you spells.
And would my character remember that we spoke with a witch warper? That there was going to be a witch warper on her team?
Raz was a witch warper.
Okay.
At one point, or he still is, but you don't know what happened to him. He kind of up and disappeared one day after conning some people for money, and disappeared.
You can assume that he's dead, yeah.
He might be dead. Who knows? But yeah, you have encountered one witch warper before in your life.
For like one day, too.
For like one day, yeah. But those are more commonly like the people who, well, instead of like mystics or technomancers, more commonly Nyarlathotep worshippers are witch warpers. And there are other ways to get that power, but that seems to be what he offers people who follow him.
Okay. And the masks that we have, or that we found.
Mm-hmm.
Is that, I guess, like the technology in it or whatever? Is that something that's like similar to what witch warpers would do, or is that just something like kind of separate?
No, that is actually it's separate. It's just kind of like a useful device. It actually comes from like a biological fact from like one of the aliens.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's not necessarily. Oh, the last thing, before I forget, you learn he has some type of like henchmen or minions that he sends out to do a lot of his. So he doesn't have to get his hands dirty necessarily. You don't know, like they're not referred to by name. Like the body is almost of like a millipede.
That's disgusting.
Okay,
like
so his
body,
henchmen like have a specific
like the people he conjures and sends out.
Okay.
They have
a
like
particular shape
this
to 'em.
like millipedal body.
A bunch of legs.
Kind of like without like not with the legs, just kind of like that shape.
So a worm?
So a snake.
But like a worm, but it has like those like the bug-like exoskeleton around it. They have about like
So it's
4
crunchy.
claws.
A
What?
crunchy
Just
worm.
like a regular isopod. Though.
Yeah, there we go. Something like that. I don't know words, man.
What the fuck? You get into ecology.
It has
too?
4.
Do you remember that meme where it was like God is gonna create a snake and the snake was like, how do I move? And then he's like, something like this.
You know, like this.
Yeah.
He's like, are you fucking kidding me?
I like the one where it's the god and the angel are like let's put more legs on them. And he's like, please stop. And it's like the millipede is like, more.
They're just like putting out numbers. They're like 2, 4, 100.
Yeah. And the millipede is like,
crying. Please stop.
I love that one. But yeah, it has like this like isopod, like this like insect like body. It has these like large like bat winged
Whoa.
deals. It has 6 green eyes, and then these kind of like 4 clawed feet, and then normal like bipedal hands.
Okay,
That's
Claude.
scary.
Just a little bit.
It sounds really creepy, dude.
They don't have like a name associated with
Do
them.
I know what they look like, or is it just described in the?
Yeah, like it has like a picture, like that's how you see them. Like that picture is seen throughout a lot. Actually, I'll show you the mini for it, so I don't have to give you the name.
I can draw it, and has bat wings. Neat.
What if it's something that's like
And it
Christian
has
doesn't even
feet.
completely describe?
And it has 2 hands.
That's actually what's that dragon? The Tragdor with the buff ass arm. I'm talking about
Trogdor?
Trogdor. Yeah, that's what Teresa just drew. Pretty close.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, it has the name. Damn it.
It doesn't have a
Luckily,
name.
I did not see the name. Hold on, I want to look at it more.
I like how Christian says, yeah, it doesn't have a name associated with it. Oh, don't look at the name on the mini, though.
I thought the minis didn't have
It
names.
looks like the little worms, the little cockroach things from Men in Black, but like the cool version of them.
There's no such thing as a
But,
cool
like,
version of those
I
guys.
love those guys.
The worms or whatever.
The worms, yeah.
Oh my god, you're right.
He's gonna
actually.
show you the picture. This is what I drew.
It looks like if you were trying to take
that
those
is what it
guys
is.
and make them edgy.
I was pretty
That's
close. I was pretty spot on. You want to see my picture?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really good.
It's
That's
spot
really
on.
good, Teresa. Maybe you
Spot
should
on.
draw for the group instead of me.
Yeah, I know.
That way
So
I
that's
don't
what
do
they
it more.
that's what they look like, and those you kind
This
of
is
get
gonna
that.
be my reference.
Those are their
It's gonna be my reference.
Oh wait, you said clawed feet.
yeah.
Just put little
Mm.
lines on.
Shanks, claws.
Go ahead, Christian. You can keep going.
They look like little feet.
Teresa, I swear to God. There's something else, man. She's
Yeah,
fucking
and
dying.
I would say the last bit of information that you get just because of the sheer amount of time, just because of like the sheer amount of time that you're
There's
able to
like-
spend.
There's like a video, and it's like a spider, and it's like if you hear like the spider steps, and it's just like a bunch of steps with like little shoes on it.
Did you just have little shoes on it?
I like the one where it's like your therapist, and it's like
That's
yeah, it's like your therapist like what sounds frighten you, and he's like real or imaginary. He's like, let's go with imaginary, and it's like spiders with flip flops.
It's kind of terrifying, actually.
Yeah,
That's what it would
spiders
sound
with
like,
flip-flops.
too.
So the last bit of information, just because you didn't roll super high on your intelligence check, but you just have like the sheer length of time to do it, I will give you. Along with those bat-like creatures, there is another.
more minions. There's still minions.
There's like another type of minion, and it is, I guess, like a more elite minion.
This one is the basic minion.
Yeah, that's the one
Yeah,
that
whenever
like,
I
it
play
sends out.
Starfinder, I can't roll good.
It sends out for like it's kind of like
basic minion
like
and
I've crit
menial,
failed
like,
3
tasks
times.
and stuff.
elite minion.
The second minion,
Okay.
Trying
I'm
to go
ready.
to that little
Is this the Minions movie?
yes, it's small yellow.
Banana.
Speaks in some weird combination of French and Spanish.
And Spanish. Yeah.
And I think English too. It's some weird.
When they say banana, it's like the only English word I think they know.
And oops.
It's my 6th crit fail.
Just roll them all out now, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
The second one,
I'll take
Um,
green.
it has these 4 like similar.
Well, we'll start with the body first.
Okay, the body is kind of like this
Bob Marley
amorphous, like
That mean like a blob?
yeah, it's like this like blobbish body.
You're describing me right now, dude.
Yeah, it's like this like really like blobbish body. It's quadrupedal. So four similar legs, kind of like these spiked legs.
Like it has legs and arms, or is it all
like
legs?
it's all legs. 4 legs, and then it also has this central like spike coming out from it. It has kind of like these barbed clawed feet. It has a bunch of eyes. This small.
You said there's a spike coming out of it, like a spike, and it's like
it's
chest?
almost like I guess like a
like
a
if
stinger,
it was a unicorn, but
No.
the unicorn horn was.
No, it's like
It's too late.
yeah, pretty close. This more comes from like the sound like a bee stinger type deal.
And it has a bunch of eyes.
And it has like a bunch of eyes, like these like 10, 12 eyes. A small like circular mouth with teeth
Is
going
it
all around
above or underneath the stinger?
it. The mouth,
Yeah.
it's above the stinger.
Is the mouth round?
Yes. And then it also has these 4 like weird stalk, like I don't know, like not like eye stalks. They're like antennae almost, but with kind of like these like bulbs on the end of the antennae. There's like 4.
Like
I'll let
like
you go
an
there.
anglerfish?
Similar to, yeah. He has about like 4 of those type stalks.
And what does his teeth look like?
Just like very like sharp protruding teeth, just all
Are you
around
drawing?
his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Teresa's actually our new artist for
Yeah,
Blue
pretty
Shadows,
close.
so
Pretty
I don't
close.
have to.
Wait, before you see it, that is the elite one.
The elite one.
Yo, I'm pretty fucking good at this. I should be like one of those police sketch artists.
Yeah.
Hey, Teresa.
You should be.
You'd be like, they had blonde hair, and you'd be like, all right, so
the
antennas.
That was stupid.
I'll post
black-
it to the
the,
Facebook
the
page later.
smaller minions, they're more like just like raw laborers. The second ones, the leader ones,
Slaves. And these
they
are the
are
guys that
more
work them.
they are more of
God. Holy shit.
information gatherers.
Oh, they're
They go out.
sneakies.
Both of them are like relatively like stealthy. That's how they're able to kind of like go in, and if they need to like kill people.
Yeah, but the other ones you send on more like important
The-
stuff that are
Mhm.
okay.
Maybe not necessarily like information gathering stuff like yeah. So that's all the information you find. You kind of find like the minions of An-R-K3. You find out like the
You said that the church was destroyed.
Yes.
Has anything? Do we know if, or do I know if anything has been built on where like that church was destroyed, or if like the remains, the building remains?
no, it was like the small like church that it was like it wasn't necessarily like an established church. It was more of
Like a
Like-
shack.
no, not even a shack. It was like a secret like cult in someone's house.
Oh, so it was a home.
It was a home. It potentially was like a home that was destroyed at one point.
And this is in
Castrovel.
Oh, I said Astroville. My bad. I forgot the C.
Don't we from the whole planet like that, bro?
I'm sorry.
You come from that
I'm
Astroville
sorry.
place.
No, I come from Castroville.
It's straight ass, you know?
No, it's straight gas.
Booty, rocket everywhere.
Y'all live in like little villages and everyone's just talking about their booties all the time.
That's it. After we finish our mission, I'm gonna be putting up a strip club on Castroville called Astroville.
Yes, please. Who's the purple lob from Adventure Time?
Don't know, never watched it.
You mean Lumpy Space
Lumpy
Princess?
Space Princess. She gonna be the main stripper.
Fucking LSP.
Yeah.
I still need to watch all of that. I didn't really get past like season 1. But I know it's very
Can you bring me a beer? Okay.
Alright.
Oh,
Good.
man.
It takes you the majority of the travel there, and only because
You should have spoken up.
I thought he was
Timothy
gonna hear
said.
me. I thought he was gonna like.
I got you.
That shit.
Oh.
This shit doesn't travel through walls when you go, can you get me a beer?
I thought
You
I
said
said
it- you
it
said it-
louder
No, I
than
was
that.
talking to my dad.
You said it quieter than what you've been talking normally. Like, you like toned it down when you said that for some
I
reason.
thought I said it louder than
Yeah,
that.
so you spend, and the only reason you're able to get all this information is because you spend the sheer amount of time on it. It was not necessarily that you were like, knew what you were doing. It was like, all right, I'm just going to read through everything 100 times and get as much information as I can.
Well, that makes me feel dumb.
Yeah.
You also only
Getting
rolled a 12.
information.
You only rolled a 12, but
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
all the information you gather from it.
And I'm. Okay. Yeah. I'm thinking, if like I would want somebody else to. Well, it would be Zaz.
Zaz?
Zaz.
Zaz? It is you.
Zaz.
Saz.
I would probably
is-
want Zaz to help me, like, also look over it because I feel like we're kind of like same but different.
Mhm.
No.
But
Mystically
well,
He's an
inclined.
elf and you're a lizard.
Mystically inclined.
you know what? I don't see race.
To be fair,
like
I think
that.
I could probably look
That's
it
'cause you
over
can't
much
see at
faster
all.
than either of y'all because I have an intelligence
But-
of like a 26
Yeah,
or
but
something.
I don't know, like what.
So like, if it's an int
Just
score kind
reading
of
Oh,
through
there's
deal,
like no beer.
'Cause
Like,
that's the
reading
thing,
through
like-
raw data. Timothy could probably help. Zaz could help with like more like the mystical stuff.
That's kind of what I would think is important. So like I like default like my character like I would like probably ask Zaz for help, and then I think afterwards like I would take it to everybody and then be like, do y'all want to take a look at it and see like if anything? But I would want like both of us to look at
Okay.
it first.
Yeah. So the first about like 2 days, Zaz is like unresponsive. You're not. He's not
Yeah.
dead. You know, you just
He's
kind of
just
like open
doing
the door
shrooms.
and he's just like in this like meditative state, and you're like, Psh, elves, and you kind of go back. Around like the 3rd day, he kind of comes out and he's like, hey, did you need something? By the way, I've changed the way my appearance looks and my voice, which is why I sound like this.
Whoa, you look like Christian.
And I'm also really short. I shrunk myself down a foot. But what's up, Noki? How can I help you today?
I wanted you to look over these things that Chisik sent over because I feel like you might be able to help me out with it.
Yeah, I know how to read.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a 19.
I wish I knew how to read.
so do I. It helped out with my classes.
Yeah.
So, and you've already like laid down everything and organized a lot of it, and you've done a lot of like the raw kind of like organization and data work for Zaz. And he kind of looks over it with you, and he's like, "All right, yeah, I see what you're talking about." And he kind of gives you a couple different things. What really sticks out to him is the. Okay, so with the 19 plus, I don't think he has a negative intelligence modifier.
No.
I'm sure he has a positive
I'm
one.
sure
Are
he
you
does
kidding
too.
me?
Or at least
So-
a
He's a
neutral
mystic.
one.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
mystics use wisdom.
He's a mystic.
with his
And a
his
nerd.
like
True.
more mystical inclination, he's able to recall, like kind of point out that every time
We touch.
there's a change in every time we touch, every time there's a change in the name, it's like a different era in time.
And every time we kiss,
Okay.
I swear I can
Mhm.
fly.
And it's like there's every time there's like a name change. What?
So would like the different era in time would we kind of deduce from that like this gap thing has happened multiple times, or would it just kind of be like, oh, like the 70s and the
Potentially,
80s?
there might have been multiple gaps. You don't know
Okay.
due to the gap.
Right.
Interesting.
Huh.
But every time there's like this new like era, different gods have shown up.
Okay.
So and then just kind of like throughout. I mean, some of the gods keep repeating, obviously, but
Which is the ones with like
there
the
are like
strongest
new
ones.
gods that kind of appear within these eras of time. So kind of like every time he goes
But
through,
he's
like, a new
always been
iteration.
consistent.
But
It's
he
just
has
the
been
name.
consistent. The name has changed.
Okay. Do the notes wouldn't say like if any other god was consistent because he's just specifically recalling like the two names that I asked, right?
I mean, Sarenrae is a god that is consistent, and that is just because Sarenrae is a god of the sun,
Right.
and the sun has been there constantly throughout all of history. Like gods from other planets, like Heliax, which is like a Sharon god, and I forget the Vest god's name.
Oh yeah, take it off.
Nope.
Both of them are like kind of more recent gods, but that was only because of
Like
the travel and with the drift travel. Triune is the most recent god. Who Triune is another god who was originally 3 different gods that had like fused together.
That's why it's called Triune.
That's why it's called Triune.
Try.
It's just a stupid
3.
It's 3 different gods that have, and that's why the iconography for Triune is like 3 different, like 3 circles overlapping, like a Venn diagram type deal.
That's funny.
So there's a lot of like different gods. Sarenrae is one of the more consistent gods throughout all of these eras. Besmuda, which is like a god of like piracy and like theft and stuff.
Let's
I
show
said
him.
like theft,
show
but
him. I like that.
like a god of like piracy. She's been around pretty consistent.
All right, her. Let's show her.
Wow, it is in the gender.
Because most famous pirates
he
are
said
dudes.
she, so
Yeah, that's why she had a lot of worshippers, because she was.
I thought you said he first and then said she.
I did.
Yeah, he
Exactly. That's why I said
Let's
the gender.
At least I changed it afterwards. I was given
did. Whatever,
no information
it's
before.
fine. Christian kept on calling one of the people like a
It looks
he.
like that.
It was a
Yeah.
she.
It looks like
It's true.
that. It looks like that. She, he, ma'am from that GameStop video thing. It's ma'am.
What the fuck are you talking about?
The one who got all.
Yes,
the one
sir.
who-
And then he was like, "It's ma'am." He's like, I'm so sorry, sir. It's ma'am. 'Cause he looked like a fucking dude.
See, it was a dude. Anyways,
Christian?
Yeah.
Jeff, you
Pharasma.
should really pull your sleeves
Pharasma
down,
is
man.
another god that's been consistent. Pharasma is. She is in charge of kind of like the transition between life and death. She's kind of an enemy of like necromancers. That one would have been pretty consistent. And then a lot of like the evil gods have been pretty consistent. Zon, Kuthan.
It's a little depressing, ain't it? The evil gods are consistent.
I mean, because
But
like
like the good gods aren't necessarily as consistent.
it's mainly because like the evil gods, there's always gonna be like war and punishment and stuff like that. That's also like justice and valor, but the justice and valor stuff changes.
Yeah.
So it's like different ideals of justice, different ideals of valor. Pain and suffering, it's pretty consistent.
And taxes.
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 He's also the god
Fucking
of taxes.
Is there any other like planet where anything seems to be like established in, I guess, in regards to the Creeping King?
Not like a established church.
Well, no. Okay, so what I'm asking is not like we know that there was a church in Castroville. Is there anything like in the
Wait,
things that I was sent?
there was a Creeping King church in Castro?
It was one that was destroyed about 30 years ago.
Is there
Gotcha.
anything that says like there might have been like a mass following, and like we found this stuff in this planet specifically?
The only reason that church was founded, was found, was because it was destroyed.
Oh, okay.
That's the only reason why that is like a known church.
Would
is
I
because it
know
was,
the
like, a secret.
location of that church, or does it just say like there was a church in Castroville?
Yeah, it's pretty close to. I don't remember I think it's on some of the islands. I'd have to look at the backgrounds. I think they're called like the Shattered Islands or something, and they're pretty close to where the Lashuntans and the Formians fought.
The Formians are those weird insectoid kind of humanoids, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the
They're like-
Midichlorians.
What?
What?
Yeah, the floating shards. It would be in the floating shards.
The floating
Man, that
shards.
sounds like a really bad thing.
Yeah, and the floating shards are very historic for Castrovel because that's where a lot of the That's like where the closest points to the Lashuntans and the
Elves?
Formians are, and so that's where a lot of like their
Oh, they both come from
war
the same
took
world?
place. Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
take out my
they have different
map.
like colonies.
Gotcha. I didn't
So
realize that.
the colonies is the Formian continent.
Okay.
Asana is the Lashuntan continent,
Mm-hmm.
and then Sovereign Reign or whatever over here is the Elven continent. This Eukalam is like unexplored wilderness in Castrovel.
Interesting.
I want to take out my map. Do any of like the little marks that are on there, any of them in Castroville?
I think there's 2 in Castroville.
There's one in Castrovel.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
There's one in Castrovel. It is on like the lower half of.
And the lower half.
So more
is
like
that
towards where the Formians are,
Yeah, more
Oh.
towards where the Formians are.
or possibly the elves.
That's no bueno.
What do you mean? We gotta go kill Formians. That sounds awesome.
No.
Why not?
That means that we have to fight a lot of Formians.
I'm okay with that.
No,
Look, we can just use strafing runs in the ship. It's got weapons.
yeah.
Just
Yeah,
blow them
just
up.
The lower half
could just bomb
of
them, huh?
Castrovel is
About
where that.
Or if you give me time,
circle
I'll
is,
just make a
where
whole
the
bunch of
X is.
traps like mines, and we can just throw those things down, lure them into it, blow them up.
Yep. Anything else you want to ask?
Do I know any witch warpers besides the one that we met?
So it's
That's the one that you met. No, hasn't been. Witch warpers.
Are they like rare?
Witch warpers in the packed worlds are very rare.
Okay.
And even like that name, Witch Warper, is a very recent name for it. They have gone through, just like Neologitip has gone through several like iterations of that title.
Would witch warpers be like a new title too, or is that like new altogether what they are?
It's not necessarily like new altogether. It's just like a different form of magic that's not widely practiced in the packed worlds.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Okay, I see.
So they do exist in the packed world, but a little bit more rarer. And you guys haven't encountered any in your travels as of yet.
Okay.
Any Formians? Is that what we were talking
I
about?
feel
Or?
like you've encountered a Formian before.
I don't think
But-
so.
No, we haven't.
Maybe not. But no,
Maybe
she was
in,
talking
like,
about
passing or
witch warpers.
something.
Oh, warpers.
Yeah, the witch
No.
warpers.
In fact, I think it might be a common trait that witch warpers are just flaky and don't show up to sessions or something.
Something like that. Yeah, so you haven't really encountered a whole lot of witch warpers.
Okay. I think that's all of my questions.
Alrighty then, so you guys continue on your way to Aballon. Timothy, I'm assuming you just put it on autopilot.
Yeah, just make little updates here and
Little
there.
updates here and there.
Normally the computer will warn me before I have to do anything.
Yeah,
so.
computer will warn you long before you have to actually make any adjustments. Akron, do you want to do anything?
Other than cook for the rest of the week.
Okay, and go ahead and make me a charisma check.
Cool.
Or you make me 2 charisma checks just because you have a week. You can make some more videos.
Do we want to keep it as charisma or are we doing it as profession?
Profession, yeah.
So one's a 22 and one is a 16.
22 and a 16. So I think
Is
you
that
get.
plus 12? Yeah, it is.
I think you get 3 videos with that.
Only 3? We
Yes.
gotta pump the numbers up, man.
Because 15 is 2.
Is 15 2?
Yes.
Is it so DC 10? Okay, so you get 4 videos. Because you get.
Because it's every 5 above 10.
Okay, so then 10, 15. So that's 2, and then. So you get 5 videos.
Nice.
Okay, you get 5 videos, and then one of them is due to Sleaze because you're spending a week.
Okay, so
On the
that
job.
means I'll have a total of 10
Mhm.
still.
Okay. Just in case you.
But unfortunately, since we had only figured out that Timothy does eat, the only thing I have left are eggs, so we're only making omelets.
Well, we can make like
I took all your onions and ran off with them.
deviled eggs,
But yeah, okay.
breakfast tacos.
Just
He doesn't have
Egg.
tortillas.
We don't have
Egg
tortillas, we just have
breakfast.
eggs and then some veggies.
Okay,
Well, I mean, not onions though.
And maybe some, but no onions.
I took them.
And some meat, but not a lot. They're all from the fireplace.
Is that even meat?
Should we eat it?
It's meat. It's just covered in cinnamon. All of
Oh.
it is.
It's very spicy stuff.
Yeah, either
I'm
really
down.
spicy or covered in cinnamon.
Very spice heavy stuff, and that's it. So yes, we will be having very bad burning shits. Right there. Holy
Right
shit!
there.
You do have to shit now because you eat.
No, I get rid of it in
How does it
different
work?
ways.
No, you can't just give me that.
His
The
butthole is
nanites take care of it for me.
His butthole is a ring of
It's a ring of
annihilation. So he
I just
he does have to poop.
It's an
but
onboard
It's just
toilet.
immediate.
It's just
Onboard toilet, man. Come on, get you one.
it's as if he's wearing a diaper.
Yeah. But because it's under a big suit, no one can notice.
Exactly. Actually, no, it's a small suit now.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yep. But once I changed to a weapon prototype mechanic, I no longer have heavy armor proficiency.
Okay.
So I'm now wearing a shift skin.
Then I'll ask you later what your character is supposed to look like so I can draw it.
Yeah, I'll have to figure that out later.
All right, let me get my new area notes because we
New
have entered a new
area.
area. New challenger approaches.
A new challenger approaches.
All right.
Why hasn't Reed shown up yet?
Dude, he said he's going to be a little late, so next week.
We gotta call him out.
My bad. I think that's just something with Vanguards, too.
Yeah, and the witch warpers.
Mm-hmm. Some
Alright.
witch warpers will say, like, oh, yeah, I really want to play. Hey, guys, tell me next time that you start a new campaign, and then doesn't show up.
He doesn't show up. So, because Mason and Reed aren't here, I'll say that Mason does communicate with Teresa
Tree Risa.
and gets the location of where the plants are.
What the fuck? I met the plant people first. Why did they call me?
Look,
Well,
man,
'cause
you're not
they
as
gave,
important,
They
okay?
gave
Ugh.
Zaz the mission.
Ugh.
That's true, but they also gave me a brochure, a digital
They
brochure.
did give you a digital brochure. So this is Aballon. As you break into the
Should
atmosphere,
be cold.
Yeah.
as you break into the atmosphere, very very light
I got the
atmosphere.
opposite.
And you look down. Everything is virtually made out of like chrome or metal.
That's awesome.
There are very little. I mean, there's
I speculate if this is where androids first came from.
not where androids first came from. Actually, go ahead and everyone make me a culture check.
It's just the future episode from SpongeBob.
Put my other dice
Yeah,
down.
everything is made out of chrome. Yep, one right there.
I was looking for this one. I couldn't find it among the other ones.
Nat 20.
Nice,
Nat 1.
nice.
Also nice.
Okay, Noki got a 2.
16.
God
17.
damn, you had that much
Yep.
to it too?
She adds the D6 plus 1, and then
A total of 27.
so
though.
27. Actually,
And
the way we're
11.
doing
I
Never
continue
20
to
sounds, you
speculate
roll a
because I know
D6.
nothing.
and
You add a
D6.
D6 to the whatever?
Add a D6 to the roll.
Okay, so it's 30.
30. Okay, so with the 30, you know that this isn't necessarily where like androids originated from. Aballon is the home of
Just kidding.
the Anacytes.
Anacytes? What are those?
Anacytes are robots in and of themselves. They're
Oh,
like
okay.
the truest faction.
Okay, so
Nobody
they're
knows
actual
the
androids.
origin of the Anacytes.
Hmm.
They and like this planet is the home of them.
Oh, they're the ones that like were made.
Mhm.
Okay.
Anacytes are like robots, and they have like Anacyte factories on Aballon, constantly pumping out
More of
different
them?
versions of Anacytes. They have gained like sentience. They're not just like AIs. They are sentient creatures. They have with 30, you know that they have two major religions. They have those who wait, and those who like advance or something like that, something along those lines. And it's regards to their kind of belief on where they came from.
Okay.
So those who wait are waiting for the people who made them to come back,
Uh-huh.
and are kind of just like amassing wealth and technology to kind
For-
of impress for the ones
their
who created them.
Creators, yeah.
And then the other one, those who advance are more inclined to like develop themselves, explore the universe.
So independent, but
Mhm.
like
Yeah,
less
more
reliant
independent.
on their creators.
Right. Those are kind of like the two major or not necessarily religions, but two major like factions of Anassites. Anassites in themselves are still very curious. You will still find a lot of churches on Aballon.
Is there Popeyes?
Yeah, there actually is one Popeyes. There's one Popeyes. Not a whole lot of like. I mean, it's a lot of like robots. They do accommodate for a lot of people, but you probably won't find like the freshest fruit and stuff here.
I mean,
the robots.
It'll probably be something there for you to eat.
Yeah. So there's a lot of like.
If you ever give me oil again, I'm gonna smash
No.
you in the face.
I'm gonna give you like metallic food or something.
There is also, due to like the proximity to the sun, a lot of like everything kind of run off solar power here. This planet doesn't have any like rotation.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, for at some point in their history, it stopped like rotating. We're currently in kind of like the summer months, so there's still light and everything. It does get quite hot.
When you say it stopped rotating,
on its axis.
on its okay.
Yeah, not orbiting.
So it's still orbiting, but it's it doesn't have any spin.
Mhm.
Does that mean that throughout the year there's only certain places that have light?
No, like all of the they do provide themselves like their own light and everything.
Right. I mean, I meant
But it's
sunlight.
about sunlight.
Yeah, sunlight. Yeah, only like some parts of the year. This planet does have like sunlight, like natural sunlight, but they do provide. They can create light, and then basically they have just like large areas of just like solar farms around the planet, powering the planet. So when it's like winter time, let's say, you know, the solar farms on the other side of the planet that power the cold side of the planet.
So it's essentially just like, you know, what would be considered a year is one day then.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay, I see.
So it doesn't have any rotation, but and that happened like within the last couple hundred years. That it's no longer like spinning on its axis. Yeah. So that's kind of all, you know. And then there's several like cities and stuff within Aballon. So they do have several ties to Avatar Core, like everything in this world. Because a lot of their like
I can make some bombs.
a lot of their stuff is made on Aballon. Just like a lot of like factories and stuff are on Aballon.
We can make that stop. The whole factories and stuff thing, you know. We can make that not be a thing.
It also has its own moon called One.
And does that moon rotate or no?
The moon does orbit.
Is the
Orbit
moon,
and it rotate as well, yes.
yeah.
does the moon consist of the same material as this planet, aka is it chrome?
Yeah, the moon is as well is also chrome.
Okay. Interesting. That's
And when we say
Weird.
it's chrome,
Also really
are we
shiny.
talking about like metal or just
no Google.
Yeah, like essentially either like this entire
What?
world.
It looks
Google
like
Chrome.
Google Chrome. It has one big red
Oh,
section,
I
a yellow
didn't hear
section,
Google. I heard
a
Google.
green section,
I was
and
so
then a blue
confused.
Well, we
center.
can't say Google, it's copyrighted.
Yeah, so
Google.
Infosphere,
I was like, Moogle, what
Infosphere.
the fuck is a Moogle?
No, by
Honestly,
Chrome,
you said
everything-
Moogle and I
everything
thought
is,
Muggle,
like,
and I was like, what?
everything has been like paved over in like metal and stuff.
Okay, but it's not the actual like planet's made out of a metal.
No. Everything is kind of like just paved
Okay.
over or made out of chrome.
Gotcha.
Yeah, if there's any like sprouts of life, they just kind of go and spray it with a chrome spray paint, that kind of stuff. Like that future episode of SpongeBob. The religions are actually those who become and those who wait. Not those who, whatever I said before. It's those who
Advance.
become and those who wait.
Yeah.
Is what the two factions are.
Let's incite a rebellion between the two factions.
You know, you probably could, to be honest. I'm not saying it's impossible, but and then you know that. Give me 1 second. Let me find where it is. Yeah. Okay. The area that you guys are looking for is known as the Timeless. It is a city right here.
Wait, we're looking for. What are we doing?
Yeah, because we're trying to go find that plant that's made out of metal.
Oh, that's
Which is why I asked if this planet is actually made out of metal or if it's just been paved over.
Like
because
its
if it's made out of
core is
metal,
chrome too, like
then it
it's
could just be
chrome
those
through and
plants.
through. We should stab it with like a really long knife.
Do you want to use all of your bulk to make a really long bowl? Okay. It will cost all your bulk. But where you guys are looking for is
16 bulk worth.
And that is the information that
This is the
Zaz
knife
got,
that will pierce the world.
or Zaz got.
Literally.
With that, Teresa didn't say. I know you asked earlier. They don't know. They haven't gotten like deep enough within like the roots of to know like what can cut it. That's
Okay.
a part of you guys figuring out to get your unseen amount of money.
Okay.
So you guys might have to figure out something
To actually be able to cut it.
actually be able to extract it. But you guys will not get the money or will not get that large sum unless you find a plantable
Amount.
like a plantable amount and like a plantable section of it, essentially.
Which means the roots.
They have to be able to plant.
Okay. We
That's
might
kind
need
of
to take
a
a trip back
stipulation.
to Aballon Station then.
Absalon? For
Absalon.
what?
Materials. How else are we gonna cut it? I can't cut it with materials that I have right now.
Why don't we
They
just
have.
find materials around here?
Yeah, there's
Do
a
they?
lot of- They have a lot of cities and stuff here.
Do they have adamantine?
They probably do. They have a lot of.
It's adamantine, but
They have a lot of like,
Adamantine
andesite
goes through
factories and
30,
stuff.
30 hardness automatically. So
Yeah,
in
they have
terms
a lot
of
of
cutting
like
stuff,
factories and stuff here.
Yeah.
You can definitely find some adamantine here.
yeah, we can go shopping here.
if we can just find some kind of a penetrating type of weapon that I can make out of adamantine, then that would probably get us through literally anything that we need.
Just make a drill.
Coincidentally, the Striving, this closest city to the Timeless, is kind of the main city.
Cool.
For as I'm looking at it, yeah, it's the main city to Aballon. So you can definitely make some form of hardness cutting weapon out of adamantine. That's probably where the first place you were gonna go.
Yeah, I say let's go ahead
Yeah,
and
let's
land
stop
in the
there
Timeless
first.
and then
The Timeless
You
is
just
where
travel
the
off.
plant, the Timeless is where like the plant is.
Yeah, the
The
other place where we
Striving
want
is
to go.
where.
Oh, my bad. Then let's park in the Striving and then make our way. What do I have to do here?
Get money.
Yeah, I guess I don't really have anything, huh?
I don't really have any.
You
specific
talk to people
motives.
well. Go talk to people for me.
That's true. I
Not
don't
even,
remember
like,
what we said
specific
to. Yeah, I don't remember what my motive is for this, but I think Mason just said last time that we're helping the plant guys, and I'm like, oh, well, I like the plant guys, so.
I think that is correct.
But I mean, for a character that's main motivation is,
Find your brother.
find his brother, avenge his family.
Hey, we'll get there eventually.
Yeah, I think I'll just use this time to be still shocked at the fact that I might have a sibling that I never knew.
That you may have killed.
Hey, Reed killed her.
Speaking of murdering people, just to remind you guys, you can do non-lethal damage to people. You do.
That takes out all the fun.
Just saying, you can. It does take a penalty to hit if you try to do non-lethal with a lethal weapon,
Mhm.
or you can just buy non-lethal weapons.
Nah.
What about
Just
with
saying.
my fists?
Your fists are lethal because you are a Vesk,
That's right.
but you can always
'Cause
do
they're
non-lethal
like
damage.
20
just a
pounds.
-4 to the hit.
I can't use any other weapons that are my. I mean, I can, but I don't want to use another weapon.
You
that's
can
not
choose to do non-lethal damage with your moat. Add a -4 to hit.
Yeah, that's why I don't want
Just
to have
letting
the
you guys know.
minus part.
I'm
So
fairly
yeah,
certain
Actually,
I
no.
can just.
I take that back. There is a
is
certain
something that-
Solarian crystal that allows me to do that
Just do non-lethal.
Can you hand me the core book, please, Teresa?
because it changes my damage to whatever.
non-lethal?
Please.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Thank you.
you said you're gonna arrive on the
I
Striving.
appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll pause for a little bit so Jeffrey can do all the talking.
Pee.
So I can go.
You don't know what I got.
I said, there's no melee weapons that are penetrating. Teresa goes, what about this dick? And I was like, holy fuck. Woo. Timothy had never heard anything this vulgar in his life.
Timothy
Yeah,
is
because
like
you've been a
shocked.
slave.
Yeah.
Timothy will now
Timothy
work
just
on making
stares
a
at her and
giant
he's like,
penis.
I thought you were female.
No, it's just her tail.
It's actually really hard to tell the gender
Yes,
of lizards.
It is
Apparently,
tail.
yeah.
because when I have to draw whatchamacallit, her and Bioto, you're just gonna
Just
look the
make
same.
him shorter.
Ooh.
Well, he's also gonna have a fucked up face.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But no, yeah,
So it doesn't
female
matter.
vests
And
are
you have, like,
taller
a
than the
manacle,
male
a
vests.
manacle, a monocle.
Monocle.
Oh yeah, I'm so classy.
So we'll pick up.
Yeah, I'll just make an adamantine weapon. That
Guys,
should
you're gonna
be,
get sued.
I think, enough. I hope enough.
No.
Does
Because
it look like
there's no penetrating melee weapons.
There's no pen. Oh really?
Mhm.
Outside
if
of
I
the stick.
hold it like this, does it look
So
like
it's- Oh yeah.
it's part
Yeah.
of my hand?
No.
No, not at all.
Oh,
You mean Edward 40 hands?
hold on.
If I if I
What
made
about
this
now?
melee weapon my special weapon, then I could assign it the penetrating property.
Well, you don't have to do that. I will tell you. You can make like a tool.
Make a drill.
Okay.
Make a penetrating like tool
Make a shiv.
that allows
Make a
you to
drill.
do it.
That's not a tool.
You're a tool.
Yeah, you can
You're
use shivs as tools.
Yeah, but it's,
You can use
Uh,
them to
I'll
pick
say,
locks.
you can
Mostly-
Do I need to make it adamantine, or is there any
That's up
like
to you.
special
an
rules?
adamantine
That is-
shiv.
that
It's
is up to you.
so
Yeah, I-
stupid.
If
I
you want to
think-
make out of
I think I'd
adamantine-
like to, just to make sure that it can penetrate it without any kind of difficulties.
Okay.
Is there any kind of like DC that I need to beat to make this tool?
You have to make the tool.
Aren't you using a blowtorch?
Yeah, we'll say.
Well, the blowtorch ain't gonna be enough. Plus, you
Um,
want to carry on the gas for it?
I mean,
It's volatile.
I don't care.
It blows
You're
up,
gonna
and
we'll
blow
say
up.
Use a blowtorch
level
for your
5,
penetrating
level
tool.
5 tool.
Level 5 tool.
Okay.
Okay.
Level 5.
I just take
So
10
all
on
of the
Really?
all of the normal stuff. Yeah, and you don't really need to. You can do the. So level 5, you're twice as many, so you get half the time, quarter of the
half
time.
the yeah.
So quarter of the time, so 20 hours. You're down to like 5 hours.
Yeah, I can make it in like a
You
day.
can make it. You can make it in less than a day because of the quick crafting rules.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's
you
true.
can make it in
I
like.
can even speed it up to like
Mhm.
3 hours, 2 hours, something like that.
Yeah.
And if
So-
I just take 10 on it,
So
it
40
does that
something.
easy.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
So, you can make it within a couple hours, but if you want to land on the striving to get anything else, you guys can. Do you guys want anything else from this Chrome planet from the future? You guys have money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just gonna go
Wait,
shopping.
what is there here?
I would like to pick up some more ammunition if I can.
And I'm picking up
You
food.
have
Most
to
of it's
make
like
the ammunition.
nanites. Yeah, but I'm talking about like the nanite like portion of the ammunition. Is that something I need to buy, or is it all just made from bulk?
I was gonna say you can make it
Okay.
all from bulk if you want.
Okay.
Um,
Cool. That's even easier then.
Yeah, just because that's a part of your like prototype stuff. I'll say that you have to make it from bulk. We'll say that.
Okay. Cool.
Because essentially what you're doing is you're fusing your
The nanites that are within me.
what was no
Oh.
The power
what
within.
left of well, you essentially like removed your exocortex
Mm-hmm.
to create these nanites.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
And that's what gives them their like
Power.
sentience and power and stuff. So that's why you know when you
About
have
it.
your exocortex, you have this
Okay.
weapon. That's
Cool.
essentially what it is. What we're saying. But okay, so you arrive on the striving. Yeah, and it is just everything is like on a grid system. Everything is
It's
very
orderly.
very calculated. All of the buildings, you have like the all the residential buildings are like the same height, and it has like those like Japanese like hotels, which is just big enough for like.
Oh, you mean the
one-
capsule hotels?
Yeah, like the capsule hotels was just big enough to sleep in
Mm-hmm.
for a lot of these robots. On the tops of all of the buildings, there are like solar panels. So you have like the residentials are a certain level, the like business are a certain level. You're walking around, you see a lot of very strange, like robot creatures. And they're all of different variety. You see some of them are like these winged creatures. They almost look like insects, like robot insects.
But they're insect. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
they're
they're
robots.
still made out of like metal and stuff. I'll kind of show you what they look like. Yeah, like a lot of them. All of them have this kind of like red cross type deal in the front of their face,
Okay.
as like a visor, so that you assume that's what they see. But a lot of them are like these like insectoids. There's even more of them in this other book. This is kind of just so you guys, yeah, like a lot of them are just like of all like makes and models. But what is like iconic is that kind of like cross,
On their face.
that cross on their face, yeah. That
So
red
they
cross on their face.
definitely look kind of like biological creatures. They're just made out of
a lot
robotic
of them,
parts.
Yeah, a lot of them like resemble.
Can I do
Just,
a
like,
engineering
humanoid-
check to get like more information on them and like
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
how
yeah,
they
sure.
operate or like what their weaknesses are,
It'll
things
be
like
an
that?
engineering check. Go ahead.
Can I just take 10 on it?
Yeah, just walking around the city.
All right, so if I take 10, that's going to be a 34.
34.
Remember, the worst
one
possible
other
thing
thing,
happens
you know
to
that
you.
all
You also
the,
trip and embarrass yourself.
Well, it's only on a
Um,
20.
You know that they
That's
have
a 10. I learned from my mistake.
Yes.
Big
So
brain.
you know, a lot of the more like humanoid structures, and like humanoid is like very big, like air
Yeah.
quotes. A lot of them do resemble like either like I want to say like monsters, but like creatures like insects and animals and stuff.
Okay.
A lot of it like quadrupedal or bipedal, like humanoid esque creatures. They do have like hidden compartments for weapons and stuff. They don't like outwardly. None of these creatures like outwardly like
Show that they have
have
weapons.
weapons. A lot of them are like either internal in some fashion.
Okay.
They have immunity constructs or construct immunities, obviously because they're all
Constructs.
robot-
Yeah.
they're all constructs. They are all light dependent. So they're all like essentially solar powered.
Oh,
You
okay.
put them in like a dark room.
Gotcha. They'll
They
deactivate
essentially-
after a
They
certain
don't
amount of time.
deactivate. They essentially get the sickened condition.
Oh, okay.
The second condition being, you take a -2 penalty to ability checks, attack rolls, weapon damage, saving throws, and skill checks.
Yeah.
So they don't want to be saved.
Yeah.
They still
It's
have
fairly
some
substantial.
internal like power, but obviously they can fully function in the sun. They also have the ability to communicate wirelessly with all other anacytes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of just like the general.
Can they be hacked?
No, they are still like sentient.
Okay.
They are still sentient. They do have the construct designation. They can't necessarily like not hacked in like.
They don't have like any kind of an interface or anything.
Yeah, like not hacked in like the let me take over.
Yeah.
Anacyte. It's more like. I guess like if you wanted to like charm them, like technomancy, like to charm them.
Okay, then you can do like a computer's
you can
check
do, like,
to do that.
Yeah, or like some like technomancy spells might impact them.
Okay.
You know, like if you got like the erase spell as a technomancer or like input data, it might impact them
Okay. Gotcha.
depending on what the spell's read as. But like anything that impacts like technological constructs would impact these people.
Okay.
Now also Saz and Bjorn are with you guys. They're just kind of taking it all in. They haven't been to this planet before, so they're like just awestruck, like wow, you know this.
A lot of robots.
There's a lot of robots here, and Biodo obviously is more concerned with what? Do they drink alcohol? Do they have alcohol on this planet? Is the alcohol just chrome? And he's like frantically looking for some bar.
You can get drunk off of gasoline.
Yeah.
You
And,
can.
he
You
might have
can
to.
also die off of it.
He might have
He
to.
hasn't died.
He has a pretty
It's
high fortitude.
impressive. He had like what, an 80% blood alcohol rating or something
Oh,
like
yeah, he had like
Yeah.
a 70-80% blood alcohol
He was at
content.
99.9.
that? Like nine.
Chand drank pure gasoline in The Drunken Master,
That was
and
my
he
favorite
was
movie.
fine. So he wasn't fine. He was really fucked up. But he drank
What are you
it.
talking about? He won.
He did win that fight. And yeah, I love Drunken Master.
That's one of my favorite.
One of my
movies.
favorite kung fu movies as well.
Yeah.
So Reed is not showing up, right? That's what I got from his message.
Yes, like I said before, he's going to be a little late, so he's going to show up next week.
Yeah, he always has a chair here. But yeah, so a lot of these like chrome structures and stuff, buildings of the same type of buildings or the same height.
Right.
Like, everything is like, distinguished from each other. Everything is in like a grid-like fashion. Everything is labeled like. I know you said you're looking for adamantine.
So
For
just raw
me-
materials.
Yeah, so that would be like in like the shopping area.
Yeah, and
Shopping
I'm
district.
also going to be in the shopping district, but
Okay.
for me, it's going to be just anywhere where I can find anything that resembles food, I guess. But that's because I'm going to try to see if I can get any information from any of the traders there to see where they get this stuff from, because that might be or how they extract it, I should say, because that would be a better clue on how to get our mission thingy, the metallic plant.
Yeah.
Okay. Milky, what do you want to do?
I'm definitely taking it all in.
Also, I'm tired of
I'm
eggs.
definitely like a little touristy person.
Okay.
So.
Hey, so what are some landmarks?
With Jeffrey's 30 with culture, unfortunately he didn't roll high enough in culture. There is a section. So, like I said, the Anacites, they don't necessarily like follow a specific religion. A lot of that, like those who wait and those who will become. A lot of that is more or less like their kind of beliefs. But there is a large religious center, and it's more to like their curiosity on like, hey, like, what do other people believe in? It's more of like an academic.
Let's go there.
In like an academic sense of like, hey, what are these other religions? What are these other religions? What do they kind of like? What are their beliefs? You know, just kind of like getting a feel for them necessarily.
Okay, I want to go there, but also they're like a little tourist shop somewhere.
Yeah, there's a bunch of shirts, like tourist traps and stuff. A lot of the shirts are like, I went to Aballon. Yeah, it's like a chrome shirt, like chrome painted shirt. Says I went to Aballon long ago with this dumb T-shirt. You found a bunch of those shirts.
A lot of ones and zeros too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that shirt, but also just in binary.
So none of them like catch my eye, I guess.
Yeah, I guess not.
I also don't think they have any in Vesk size.
Because
I would imagine they
know.
just have like regular ass shirts.
Bugs,
Yeah,
robots. They
come
probably
in
have it
different
with like
sizes,
different
too.
whole arms and stuff.
Different amount
Yeah.
of arms. Yeah, so the only one that fits you, unfortunately, only has 6 arms.
Different armholes.
So
Yes, armholes.
different amount of armholes. Different amount of armholes.
Yeah.
Different amount of whole arms.
Yeah, just they're the opposite of pole arms.
Wait, while I'm doing my tourist shopping
It's just
and like looking around, I want to ask them, like, so like, is this planet? Are you like chrome through and through?
What are you referring to?
Do the curtain match the drapes?
Yes,
No.
everything is chrome.
Okay, all right. See,
But like I don't think that. No, stop. But like the core of the planet, is it also like this metal that's on the ground? Is this what the center is? Like it's all what it is, or is this just like surface level?
the planet. Oh,
We know that within the planet's core, there are these gear-like structures within the planet. We don't know necessarily. There hasn't been any excavations to the center of the planet, but there are gear-like constructs within the planet that have since stopped moving.
So that's why I don't spin no more.
Oh, so nobody like operates them or keeps an eye on them. You said there's no excavating, so there's like nobody.
We can totally go make those things spin
aware
again.
of the gears. There have been several attempts to restart the gears unsuccessfully.
How did they try to restart
Oh,
them?
can you just not like penetrate like the planet to get to them, or?
There are exposed areas of these gears, like expeditions have been attempted to kind of like figure out what the problem is, but
We should go do
They
that.
haven't come back, or
Do you know, like, does anybody know what the gears would do if they would? Like, would it just like actually cause like the spinning of them?
Jeff, what's your strength? How much can you carry?
what is it? The purpose of the gears is unknown. Most of these expeditions have been
60.
for
60
scientific
volts, what you can
research
right. It's
to see what the gears would achieve
not
if
60.
it's
Oh,
fun.
okay. Oh,
90?
okay.
Right.
Cool,
It's
cool.
your strength times 5, right?
Do you have anything cooler than these shirts?
Maybe.
I know that's what it is in D&D.
Do you have any cool of these shirts? No, none of the touristy attractions pique my interest.
What piques your interest then?
The origin of the Anacites, obviously.
inhabitor andesites? We have this conversation right now. But what are they? What? I missed it.
They're the robots.
That's what he is.
Yeah.
Dude, whoa.
I am an
Are
andesite.
you being
That's
racist?
right. I'm
Are you
sorry.
being racist?
I
for
just-
people?
She's
Stop.
hella racist. I guess if they're not giant lizards, she just doesn't think they're people.
I
Fair.
forgot.
It is okay.
I'm sorry. What's your name?
Oh, 3333.
I'm sorry. Oh, 3333.
It is okay. And you kind of just continue just flying.
Oh, it was one of
flying.
the.
Yeah, it was one of like the
bug
bug
ones.
ones.
I mean, they all look like bugs, but
The more
flying
insectoid.
ones.
The more
Yeah.
insectoid species.
We should have asked who sent out those expeditions.
The researchers. The scientists.
You don't sound very confident about that.
Why do you say it like that?
The researchers! The
This is
Anyway.
why I make
scientists.
very thorough notes. Okay. Do you want to ask?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. So you find one of these andesites.
Are you good?
Sorry.
And what are you asking specifically?
In regards to the gears that are within the core of the.
Is that how you're gonna
the
start
planet.
off? You're just not gonna say hello. You're just gonna be like,
Well,
you're
he-
gonna go
Look,
up to a
man,
random one and
leave
be
him
like, hey,
alone.
Look,
in
they're
regards
robots.
to-
I'm
He
almost a
relates to
robot.
them.
I understand them.
I-
All right.
If
don't think
anybody
they
knows
see you
how
as
to
equal,
interact
though.
with them, it's him.
keep drinking.
Yeah,
Anyway,
keep going. So in regards to
Yeah,
the
so
gears,
in regards to the gears that stopped, did that happen at the same time the planet stopped rotating?
the gears were discovered after the cease of the or the stopping of the rotation of the planet.
Shit. Hold on. Okay.
Okay. So in regards to so like
So it was found afterwards.
yeah the
Who-
gears the
who's-
gears were discovered after
Who sent the researchers to try to fix the gears?
Tier 38 mentor. He is one of the main heads of Aballon.
Where can I find him?
He would be discovered in I think it actually is in the striving.
Is that where I'm going?
That's where you guys
That's
are.
where we're all at.
Or,
This is the city. The striving is the city.
Yeah, the striving is the city. Yeah, he is
Is
found
this-
within the striving.
It's okay.
He would be found within the striving, in one of the, actually in one of the religious centers. He is the head church of Triune. He's kind of
Okay.
like a head of Triune within Aballon. So he is kind of within like the religious center of the striving. He's generally found there.
Can you point me in that direction?
The fields of judgment.
Also, where are the
Do
shops?
people just stand there and judge you?
Hey, you have no idea.
I'm asking.
I would like to go to this field of judgment after this.
The
with,
fields of judgment
with the other
have-
two.
The fields of judgment have very strong magnetic centers, and it does interfere with andesite and a lot of constructs.
So
It
does
is
it-
used more as a corporal punishment for Aballon.
Oh.
Let's not go there.
You do not want to go.
I don't feel like getting ripped apart today.
Do magnets affect me?
You have no idea.
you're a loser.
I'm a lizard.
Yeah, it has very strong like magnetic attraction there, and it does interfere with like technological and constructive creatures.
Oh, if that's the case,
Can you
then I'm
point
gonna
me
leave
towards
my
where the
armor on
shops
this
are
ship-
and
on this
towards
ship.
where this tier... I
Tier
forgot.
38.
Tier 38, yeah, where he is.
What is boundless?
The boundless. Let me see if I have notes for it. Nothing important. It says like, the boundless. I think it's in one of the. Let me see.
Oh, I see. Returning expeditions.
Wait, I
from
use the
the
restroom.
first one.
Okay.
City of Boundless report enormous vaults. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
She stomped her feet.
Under, underneath the city that seem to stretch for miles in every direction, many of these chambers are filled with massive gears that don't appear to have turned for millennia. So if you want to like try to investigate the gears, we can go there, and that's the
I want to
entryway.
get paid first.
Okay, that's
You know,
fine.
you got to get your
But
contract.
I also do
You
want
got
to
to get payment. Then you provide the service. Know what I'm saying?
No. Sometimes you just
Who the
do-
fuck made you captain, huh?
You
You
can
don't even know how to
go for
get
a good deal.
contracts.
Yeah, I'm the captain.
I'm the captain.
Have the captain chair.
I'm the captain. She peed on the chair or something.
No, I wrote my name on it.
She wrote her name on it in Sharpie, which I could remove if you wanted.
No, I scratched it in.
I could just repair it. That's the noise she made when she scratched it. And she went because the fabric tore really easy. I watched the playback. It was kind of.
I want to go to the Boundless after we do the thing. After we
you don't drink enough.
After we do the thing that we're
I'm
supposed
having a great
to
time.
do. This is literally my second one. I'm just a lightweight. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, you're lightweight. That's okay. Christian is too.
You know it.
He hasn't. He's only
Why
taking.
are you
a sip.
rolling?
I like how I was excluded
It's
from the
damage.
list.
You're taking damage right now.
How much?
Your brain hurts.
You're right. My brain does hurt.
You ask
I
where.
didn't drink it.
I would like to know where the
Yeah,
shops
but
are to
you
buy
threatened me
adamantine
every-
mineral.
Okay.
And
So you
where
threaten you?
this tier 38 man can be found.
Sure,
Like,
threat,
at least,
not
point me
promise.
in the right direction, because just saying,
Yeah.
like, the religious district doesn't really mean a lot to my
Okay.
character.
So currently,
I
You
do
are
want to go
on.
to the religious thing though.
34 vertical, 16 horizontal. That's why I was rolling. So to figure out where you guys were, the religious district is on 2 vertical and 95 horizontal. And the shops are on 61 vertical and 14 horizontal.
Shops first, let's go.
Okay.
I didn't pay
I know, me neither. I just said all those things to make it look like I knew
That's why
where
I
things
didn't
were.
repeat any of the words, I just, let's go.
Okay. Is there any other questions you have, Android, who I respect more than these humans?
No, but it is nice to be around light company.
Agreed.
I'm talking about one of us is a lizard and the other one of
He
us
just
is.
flies off.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm about to fuck some of these up.
I thought you were saying.
That's pretty weird, considering
one of
that,
them.
like, you have a penis and you're a woman.
How's that weird? It's
You don't know
2019.
what I
Yeah,
got.
it's 2019, man.
Well, I was talking about making someone cut the item out of the ground, and you
But
were
I
like,
don't think we
this
need
dick is penetrating.
Yeah.
It was very disconcerting. I did not think that you had those
Well,
genitalia.
maybe the dick is just my ego.
So how is that?
Yeah, so he flies off. Okay, so you go to the shops first. It's like this large. All of them are same size, same shape structures.
All of
They're
the
very-
what?
All of the like shops and stuff.
Okay.
They are very much just like one story. Just like very small like buildings, and they're just all just stacked directly next to each other.
Is there any kind of indication or signs on them that would signify what they would be selling?
You know, they all have
We
like a
don't-
sign above them and specifying like, you know, weapons, armor, materials, food, just like but like all same font. There's no like everything is like very much like
It's
uniform.
structured, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We
Alright.
don't know that the plant and like the planet are the same material, right? We would
You have no idea.
are we
It's
assuming?
very possible to assume that, but we don't
Yeah.
actually know.
You have no.
But
idea.
we also wouldn't know like. So we're assuming that the plant is the same material as like the chrome, not that the plant is the same material.
We have no idea.
As the glass.
It's definitely a different material than the glass, from what we've been told.
Okay.
But
The
we have
glass
no
is
idea
alien,
if
not
it's. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I see.
I'd like to go into the material shop.
I just
Okay.
wanted to see what.
Yeah,
the
and you
line
see
says.
there's another one of those kind of like insectoid anacytes. He just looks and says, "What material would you wish to purchase?
Adamantine,
How much?
1 bulk.
All right. Where's the armory?
It is over here. Along with the
What's the
4
price
robots.
of 1 bulk of adamantine?
Here you go.
$5.
I think it's in both, actually.
$5.
I think it's just in the armory. Oh,
No.
You know, adamantine might be in both.
Yeah.
You're right.
I want to say a weapon is like 2,500 or something. I think it's 1,000 for a bulk. Might be 500.
Yeah, whatever it is, you can afford it.
There's a lot of them in there.
Special materials. Okay, there we are. All right.
The other day at work, I had to get paper,
Get that paper.
but it
girl.
was actually paper, not like money paper.
All right.
That was the shortest story I've ever heard.
So
So they didn't work out to get paper at the end.
The Anacyte looks at you and says, 700 credits.
Deal.
Yeah, and then he's just like continuously like looking at this other andesite, like without even saying anything, just flies up, similar insectoid structure, and just drops like one ingot of adamantine, and then just like flies back into the back room.
Do we
I
know
love how
that?
efficient these guys are. These guys are great.
Do we know that adamantine's gonna cut through like the thing?
No, but adamantine will allow
I'm
for me to
gonna-
cut through most things
Ask them.
or at the very least make it
Um,
easier.
I'm just gonna be like, hey, I'm helping with the excavation, but this is my first time on this planet. Would adamantine? Should I also get something that's adamantine, or would there be like something else that might be better for it?
For adamantine does allow you to ignore most the raw strength of a lot of materials. If you are cutting or drilling through any harder materials, adamantine should suffice.
Okay. So for the for excavation purposes here, it
For
should be
excavation
fine.
purposes, correct. Little is known about the plant structure that you are referring to. It is within one of the. Yeah, well, you're not. I thought you asked about the plant.
No, but
You
She
did?
was asking
okay.
about it, but in
Oh.
like a really roundabout way.
no, I asked like I'm helping with the excavation purposes here,
Excavation
Oh,
of
okay.
what though?
No.
like
Yeah.
with like the drilling and stuff.
No, so,
like
so then he doesn't mention the plant. He just says that adamantine would does reduce the hardness of when trying to cut through it.
Adamantine and
Okay.
penetrating together they reduce the hardness the most.
Aren't you glad you looked up how to do the sundering build?
Dude, yeah, I know, right? I could actually make a sundering build out of this mechanic because I could always have penetrating on any weapon. And when I looked at it, if you have adamantine and penetrating, pretty much as long as you fight things that are like not more than 3 or 4 levels above you, and as long as they wear like items that are their level, you can always ignore the hardness of them.
I'm telling you, if you want to build it, I will make it.
Oh
If
yeah,
you
yeah.
want, if you want,
It just
to build
isn't
I will
useful.
Make it, yeah. I'm
It's
saying, like,
really
I'm saying,
neat.
like, I will make it like
Useful, yeah.
useful.
Is-
Gotcha.
is the plant like known? Like people know about a plant here, or like you only know about it if you
don't
have
know.
special interests?
You don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah, you haven't asked around specifically about the plant. You do know that the andesites are able to communicate with themselves. They're not like a hive mind. Even with the what's it called? The council, the Pact World Council.
Mm-hmm.
Aballon was almost like a jury duty summons, because all of the andesites could
That was
vote.
the one
Yes,
with the end.
the android representative on the council. He was the Aballonian representative, but the Aballonian representatives, they literally everyone on
Like
Aballon
real
votes
time, like-
real time
Uh-huh.
in response to their.
Okay.
So all of the andesites they're not like a hive mind because they're all individuals, but they all are able to communicate with each other
So we should
talk
watch our
to-
steps.
and talk to each other.
I need to stop.
Um,
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, they're all able to like talk to each other, and they're all so like you can probably just ask one.
Yeah,
You might
and then
know
get
the
like the
information.
information, but like they would also be able to like know what we're looking for and stuff.
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
Would they be against it?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's so. I mean,
But
So that's how we should.
weapon
Don't worry
armor,
about it
yeah.
yet.
So you pick up your adamantine or whatever material that you need to ignore the hardness of stuff. You want to pick up some food.
Yep.
So you enter the shop that's just labeled food.
Nice.
You actually see a couple androids here. You don't see the andesites here. Then the looking chooses. Oh hey, what can we get you today?
I mean,
Food.
food, preferably. I've so far we've only just landed here, but I've noticed that most of the beings here are kind of robotic. I don't know if they eat.
Yeah, the andesites they provide most of their nutrients via solar panel. This shop here is more for visitors like yourself of the non-construct variety.
Yep.
What kind of food are you looking for? We have very very particular. Like most of them are MRE style foods, just kind of like instant. A lot of like non-perishable, a lot of like instant cooking.
Now, why is that? Is there just no biological life here on this planet?
There's no biological
no
life
popcorn.
native to this planet. There are a lot of visitors to this planet that are of the biological sorts.
But in terms of like, let's say like plants, is there nothing that's like edible here?
Very few actual plants are grown or able to grow. There's a lot of like cacti and like succulents and stuff like that. Not a whole lot of like edible. There's no like plant native to Aballon that like naturally grows here. If that's what you're asking. A lot of this planet is, especially due to like the proximity of the sun and stuff, and the lack of rotation. So all of the natural growing, if you could say, dies off within a couple months.
Okay.
Makes sense.
So okay, well, if that's the case, then yeah, I'll take some of your MREs, but what else do I want to ask here?
Do you have any preference in flavors? We have shrimp, chicken, beef,
Don't care. I keep a
Spicy
stash of
shrimp.
my own food in my room.
spicy chicken,
This is for my
spicy beef.
spicy beef. One of each.
And you just kind of like just reaches behind the counter and just puts like 6 just boxes, and it's essentially just like ramen, like instant ramen.
Yeah, that's fair.
Do they also have the pizza rolls?
And
Tostinos pizza rolls.
Because when you
I
said
didn't know
MRE,
how
she
to
said
finish
popcorn. And I
Yeah.
said, what? What do
Yeah.
you mean popcorn?
I assumed popcorn.
That's one of the
Yeah.
higher tier MREs is pizza rolls.
Pizza rolls. Excellent. Yeah, I'll take that too.
Right? So it's gonna be it'll be 11 credits.
11
5
credits.
for the higher end, the pizza rolls, and then 1 for all
Right.
of the all of them. So 11 credits total.
How many pizza rolls are in there?
30 pizza rolls.
Sounds about normal for the price of
It is
pizza
about-
rolls.
30 pizza rolls.
Yeah.
Never get jack
Well.
shit for those.
You want me to spot you for the pizza roll?
No, it's fine. It's only 11 credits.
5 credits for the pizza rolls.
What about the popcorn?
Are we buying popcorn too?
Can
I don't know, but when he said
What?
MRE, she said popcorn, and I lost
Yeah,
it.
That's
But-
I
definitely
lost
not
my
MRE.
shit. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I just
you know,
couldn't.
you just pop the corn.
Most of the
I
not.
assumed it was
How that
simple enough.
most of the fresh, like the
Holy
quote unquote fresh fruit and stuff is
Yeah.
is
So, like, imported stuff?
Yeah, a lot of it
Okay.
is imported. Very few of it. Some of it does remain fresh.
Okay.
You kind of have to look for it, but they mainly a lot of like the biological stuff persist on like these kind of like MRE, just like this is the amount of nutrients that a person needs
Uh-huh.
to survive, and some of it is like it's
So is it a
flavored,
bunch
but
of potatoes?
it's
there?
like this is all the nutrients. Like these are like very much in like the army style like MREs where it's like
Okay.
this is the amount of nutrients you need
Yeah.
to live.
Oh, okay.
You know, like, and it's flavored. It's not necessarily like
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It doesn't, like,
Talking
make
about
you
there's a
but it
lot
is,
of
like-
good
Yeah, I've
MREs.
had them where
Like, but it is very
There's
much
some
like
good
it is very
ones.
much like this is the recommended amount of like nutrients that
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
body needs.
it's yeah.
More than like
Literally, as
It's a
everything.
strict
more
amount
than
is
like yeah,
what
like
they
more
mean.
than like this. I eat this for enjoyment.
It's like I eat this to survive.
Yeah. essentially.
Well, I mean, you could just stock up on potatoes, and potatoes have most of the nutrients that you need.
We do contain also potatoes. So, you got the stuff. You got your food.
I got my material, and then I'm gonna go see that
The
fucker
Tier
38.
And I'm
Tier
gonna
38.
drop off my stuff at the ship.
And I'm going to the religious center.
So yeah. So you and
I guess.
So you're going up with me?
Noki are.
Can I
No,
get a
I was
piggyback ride?
already going there. You're joining
Can
up
I
with
get a
me.
piggyback ride?
No.
Why? I've never seen something from like 9 feet up.
I'm following Noki.
That sounds like a personal
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah. So you can just throw your MREs.
I would like to
bag.
climb up Noki's back.
Wait, don't
Yeah,
you
I guess we
have
can do that.
You can jump
jetpack?
I do have a jetpack.
I can
Oh,
hold
jump
your
with
hand.
jetpack.
I do have a jetpack.
Yeah.
I
because
can
you-
hold your hand and guide you.
You have a jetpack now. Yeah.
Like I'm a balloon.
No, that's not how that works. It has a very limited amount of like.
No,
She
you have
just
a
told me
jetpack
I'm a
now.
balloon.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
They
okay,
have a
so-
limited amount of uses.
Anyway,
I have
so,
charged skin. I'll just charge it for my skin.
Anyway, so you guys
Harry.
you guys travel in some form or fashion to the kind of religious center of the striving, and you know that he is Tier 38 is in the Church of Triune. That's
Okay.
kind of where he's the head of.
So before we enter the church, I'd like to stop being a balloon for the Vesk.
Okay,
Cool.
sounds good. You descend.
And it
we're-
sounds like I'm
We're
deflating.
talking to. Why are we talking to this person again?
Because he's the one that sent people out to go and investigate the gears and try to get them to move again.
Okay, I'll probably branch off once I.
I
get
just
some
think that's a cool
information.
thing
Sounds
in
good.
general.
Yeah.
Sounds good, yeah. Okay, so Noki, where do you want to go?
Plus, it sounds like something we can
Who do you want to talk to? Or about?
Do I have options? Is there like a directory or something like that?
There is a directory, first of all. Second of all, almost every church is present here.
So I
said,
can
the
go to
Anassites-
this person that Timothy is talking to and get like the same information.
Well,
Potentially, yeah. But
I don't know what you mean by every church is present here.
yeah. So like,
It's like-
every Aballon, like I said, like the
They have that
majority,
mind.
like they have like all the Anassites are like connected, and they can like telepathically talk to each other and get information from each other. But every religious, like main, like not even just like the main religion, a lot of like smaller religions are also found here. Aballon, it's more of a like cultural, like getting information, as opposed
It's like a
to
cultural curiosity.
Yeah, exactly. It's called like
Okay.
curiosity, like religion in general, like a cultural like curiosity to them, and so they welcome like all churches here. So even like you might not necessarily find one of like Nyarlathotep, but Yugothra, the church of like undying and like like a necromantic type people.
the
And they
fuck?
that's the cat's arguing. Like people who, like Yugothra is generally like seen as like taboo, and she's kind of a church of like necromancy and like undeath.
Okay.
She would be found here.
And do I need to like I guess what I'm more so asking is like, do I need to speak somebody specifically? Like, is there somebody that's like directly oversees this or has like a direct kind of like expertise?
So the different churches might not necessarily be held by an Anasite.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you wanted to find like very specific information, you might have to go to that church specifically.
Oh, but they're all
But if you
here.
but the majority of them are here. Yes, I don't
Okay.
want to say like every religion ever is here, but the majority.
And
of
you just and by
religions-
saying like every religion is here, you just mean that like they're documented here in some way or some form, not that they're physically here.
most
established?
churches are physically here.
Yeah,
Like
like
established.
There are
Yeah.
most
there's
churches
an
are like,
establishment.
there is an established church here on this planet. Basically, like this planet is very open-minded, and any church can
Aw, man, he's
establish
saving the
themselves.
bees. So is there a like record of a church for like Nyarlathotep or like Creeping Chaos or anything like that?
Go ahead and just roll D100.
Oh, that's this one and this one.
Okay, the hive mask.
Yeah, I want to put the mask on.
Ooh, I forgot that we.
I forgot you have the hive mind school.
We have
Okay.
3
What
of
do
them.
those do?
They alert
Is it
you
3?
to any other presence of another hive mask,
We
and you can
No.
take a movement action to see through those eyes if
We
this
have-
mask is big
how
enough.
many of those? 3 or 4?
I thought we
Three.
had 2.
3 because
No,
each of the ones that we
because we
killed had one.
Yes.
You have 3 masks.
Okay.
Okay. That's what I
So
thought.
you put on them. You do get a ping outside of the ones that you have.
Like,
Ooh,
like,
ooh! See through their eyes. See through their eyes.
yes, please.
The mask is currently not being worn, so you don't see anything through.
Do I know like a
You
location?
do know. You do know the location.
Where-
Are you
There
gonna tell
is-
us about it?
There is a church of Neologitep here. It is not necessarily like I don't want to say like
Like well known.
not necessarily like well known, but like maybe not necessarily like well practiced, not like well.
I
visited,
mean,
yeah.
yeah, like I would assume as
But there
much.
is one church of Neologitep here. Potentially you can get some answers from there.
Okay.
Let's do courtesy thing first. Akron, did you want to do anything in this religious area?
You said that there's multiple churches that are available here, right?
Mhm.
Do I see any of Guy Fieri?
Roll me a D100.
Fuck.
Closer to all zeros you get, the better. She's got 29 and
What not?
yeah. Is that a 65?
Is that 16?
I think so. 65. No, it's not like a. I mean, there might be like one. Aballon is like a lot of open-minded people are in Aballon, and that's why there's like a lot of churches. Aballon is not known for its culinary arts, so
Makes
it's
sense.
not
That's
really
fair.
like a church for Guy Fieri here. And like, yeah, like there's not like a church for Guy Fieri here. It is very much like there might be some other, not say like culinary arts, but like craft or like just not specifically Guy Fieri, but there might be other like cooking esque deities here.
Well, in that case, then I'd like to go to any of them that have to do with Sarenrae.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. There's a multitude of Sarenrae churches here.
I just want to ask them about the Church of the Burning Mother. See if they knew Hisori.
Okay. So you travel throughout and you find a couple, and you do have to go through a couple churches, and there's a couple like different like very small variations of the churches, but eventually you do find one church who does know Hisori.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking to a fellow Lashunton like yourself. Let me pull up my list of.
I'm gonna tear through that page with the clip on top.
Eventually, I will, but
Just take it off.
yeah. So you talking to a Lashunton named like Lorelei?
Lorelei?
Yeah, and
Or
she
Lorelei.
almost has like elven features. Like she might be like a Lashunton elven, like half elf, but instead of human, like Lashunton.
Right.
Her ears are very much like they start to point,
Mhm.
but they don't make like the full like elven form. But she does have
Mhm.
the antennae. She does have like a darker complexion to her. But yeah, and she is a practitioner of Sarenrae.
Okay.
And she is familiar. Maybe not like knew who Hisori was, but is familiar.
I knew
with
of her.
Right, at least like knew of her and might have like met her in passing.
Okay. Okay, so how do I want to approach this? I guess first off, hi, my name is Acheron. And I see that you're a follower of Sarenrae.
Very much so, actually. Yes. I went to pretty much at an early age, I was adopted into basically the temple of Sarenrae, and just kind of spent my whole life learning her practices, and basically spent my whole life within the temple of Sarenrae.
Okay, and I know by your meta name tag, your name is Laura Lee.
Yes,
Um,
I do have it presented.
okay,
Not,
right.
Not meta. It is very much present.
Okay, well, in that case,
Then she just has like a hello, my name is Laura Lee.
like a sticker or whatever.
Like a sticker. It's pretty nice handwriting.
Okay,
How can I help you today?
so obviously you're familiar with the Church of Sarenrae, and I'm sure that you've heard of other churches that are on other planets, maybe. What do you know about the sect that call themselves the Church of the Burning Mother?
I know it was run by an individual named Hisori. She, like myself, was kind of orphaned into one of the temples and just raised on the temple. I know Hisori was, how do you put it? More like aggressive. She mainly focused on like the aggressive teachings of Sarenrae.
Now you're saying things in past tense. Is there something that happened to her?
This is just like in her childhood and what I know about her. I haven't spoken to Hisori
Me either.
recently.
But what do you know about her past?
I do know that she was her family is well documented. On Castrovel, roll me another D100.
Oh, dude, give me
Put
one.
a
Of them.
D20
Give me
in
one.
there.
Don't let
The
Curtis
D100
touch
I
him.
got you. I got
Essentially,
you.
the D100 is like a luck roll.
Yeah. That's a 12.
A 12.
I could have done so good.
12 is actually really good.
Okay, I could have done much worse.
Yeah, 12 is actually, yeah, you want to get closer to 0. You wanna get closer to
You know what? Just let me roll D100s from now on.
Essentially, whenever I say roll the D100, unless it's like your grave words or whatever, it is like essentially like a luck roll to see like how lucky you're gonna get with it.
I'm scared. It's
I'm actually
making me
really scared
anxious.
And so
Makes
she-
it even better
she
is
looks
I'm
at
pretty
you and says,
tipsy, so I'm surprised I
well-
even managed to get it there.
I know that the Church of the Burning Earth, I believe, is what it was called. It was on Castrovel.
Castrovel.
Yes. My bad.
Wow, you don't even know our home planet's name?
I was actually.
Hey, look, man. Be
Anyway.
nice to her, okay? She's giving you info.
I know that
I jest.
it. For most people, it
What is
was
this, the Middle Ages?
a church of Sarenrae. But there have been rumors during its development that they were worshiping someone else.
Do you have any idea who this someone else could be?
I don't. Yeah, I don't know who the someone else could have been, but I know that there were rumors that it wasn't exactly a church of Sarenrae. It was of another entity, powerful, similar to Sarenrae, and incredibly older, and that is why they were banished from Castrovel. And the official kind of like the official word of it was that they were banished because they wanted to burn the forests of Castrovel, hence the name to the Burning Earth.
Right.
But there are a lot of like rumors speculating that there was more to the burning of Castrovel. It
Interesting.
wasn't. In Sarenrae's teaching, it does talk about. There's a lot of like fiery imagery,
Right.
but unless you are going to completely warp the text of Sarenrae, and her practicing she is not like a goddess from rebirth through fire. If that makes sense. She is not one that teaches. She is not like a phoenix.
She don't want
Where,
you
like,
to burn people.
She doesn't. She is very much a goddess of redemption. And so that's why there's a lot of speculation of the Church of the Burning Earth, to where if she was truly a Church of Sarenrae, because to drastically warp her teachings would be like the way that they warp the teachings so drastically. There's almost like, and only the most devout worshippers of Sarenrae would kind of like get this, you know. But to warp her teachings in such a way, like, they could not have been worshiping Sarenrae.
Right.
Either it was like a guise, or, you know, they truly did not understand the text of Sarenrae. So that's the Church of the Burning Earth, of course.
Right.
And that's kind of where Church of the Burning Mother, she did kind of believe in burning away the sins, that kind of imagery, but Church of the Burning Mother was more along the lines of just the aggressive nature of Sarenrae, but still not within the true teachings of Sarenrae. They were still warped in some fashion.
I wonder if to imprison a god, you have to use that god's followers. Because if the Creeping King used Sarenrae's followers, pulled them into this Church of the Burning Earth, and then used them as the means to bind Sarenrae, it'd be kind of interesting.
It might not even be like the means. It might just be like
or that's
him being a master of disguise kind of
Maybe
deal. Them worshiping like Sarenrae,
Mysticism check.
believing
That's
it
what
was
I'm
him,
saying,
just
like,
gave him more power in
exactly,
order to do
or
so.
yeah, and it weakened
20.
her while
Okay, roll a
Empowered.
d6. You got a natural 20, so
20 plus 3 plus 5, so 28.
28. With the 28,
Yeah, 28.
so I'm pretty sure I mentioned this before, but the only way to kill a god
is to take away their
outright
followers,
is to completely eradicate all followers of
What
that
better
god.
way
Right.
than to
But
disguise yourself as that god?
to weaken a god, you still, like, essentially, the less followers it has, the weaker the god becomes.
Right.
So maybe to completely, like, eradicate a god from existence and to truly kill that god is to eradicate all the followers.
Mhm.
But to weaken a god, you just need to remove followers in enough mass to take away from her worship.
Which makes sense.
We're not with you, are we?
No.
No,
Okay.
this is just like what
Technically, you're closer
yeah,
because I
but
followed
I don't
you.
think you went to. He specifically went to the Church of Satan. You went to
Yeah.
Nyarlathotep.
And I'm in the Church
And you
of the
went to the
Triad.
Church of Triad. Yes. So this is just what you kind of have gathered with talking to her. But yeah, to weaken a god, you just nearly have to take away their followers.
Right.
Um.
No,
Yeah,
with
I
that
think-
said, even if they're masking themselves as following Sarenrae, wouldn't that still count as following Sarenrae, but like in a twisted sort of way?
It potentially could, but, and you only get this because Noki researched it, like the way that they devoted themselves, it's not like I worship, it's not necessarily like the name, right? Like I praise Sarenrae.
So it's mostly
It's
just their
more
ideals.
of the ideals that attribute to each god.
Interesting. Okay.
It's not necessarily like, like you can, because like the names themselves change
Right.
throughout history.
Right.
It is more of like, I worship the sun because like I can see the sun and the sun is there, but the name of the sun god might change throughout history.
Right.
So that's kind of what you get from that role.
Okay. Well, as eye-opening as this wasn't really what I asked for, but I suppose there isn't much that you can get out of a person's personal
there's
history.
There's only so much that unfortunately I know about his story. I know kind of her upbringing. I know she was like adopted into the Church of Sarenrae because her parents technically did worship Sarenrae, more or less, some twisted version. And I think the church adopted her more of a way to correct her upbringing.
Now, when you say adopt, do you mean like in a literal sense as if she was adopted?
Very much so, yes. Like her parents
orphaned, I should say.
her parents were murdered, and then the church kind of adopted her, and then brought her up under the church, the following of Sarenrae.
Do you know who her true parents were?
I know they were the leaders of, I don't know the names specifically, but I know they were the leaders of the Church of the Burning Earth. That's why I brought them up when you asked about her background.
Interesting. Okay. Well, if that's all the info you can give me, then I best not pester you any further. So I will be on my way, and thank you.
Of course. Praise Sarenrae. And then she just kind of like, is like ringing a bell. She's like...
That was not the imagery I got from that.
No,
I got more of the like...
she's like ringing a bell, and she's like... The Church of the Burning Earth, like Mother, whatever.
I could have waited till I walked away. That's very loud.
As you were walking away, but she's just like the Church of Sarenrae, forgives all sins. The Church of Sarenrae is a forgiving mother, and she's just kind of like ringing a bell as you walk away. Let's do Neil, and we'll save Neil off the depth just because I have to subconsciously think of new information to tell you. So let's do tier 38. Tier entry 38. That's you, Curtis. What do you? So
I would like to ask about the gears within the planet.
Okay.
And why there was expeditions sent.
Okay. So you actually walk in, and there's the Church of Triune, and there is just like a lot of very like organized like pews and like rows and stuff. Everything is very pew pew. There's kind of like these like green tinted like windows and stuff.
Okay.
A lot of actual like computers, just kind of like computer screens stuff all the way around, with like different like binary codes and stuff, kind of going through it. As is the text of Triune. You know that Triune did give the Pact Worlds drift travel. That was kind of one of the things that Triune, when he ascended to godhood, he was like, hey, here's this cool thing called drift travel. Is essentially what he did.
You guys want to go fast? Here you go.
Is essentially what he did. And as I said previously, Triune is the most recent god that established himself after the gap, and he was created out of three like lesser gods, and almost to kind of gather more worship. The three gods like fuse themselves.
Gotcha.
Kind of like, and Triune is not only a god of like technomancy, but a god of like unity.
Makes sense.
A lot of and so you walk in the district and you see another like Anisite, not flying. He's kind of more still like insectoid almost. Like,
more of like a ground-based one.
Like more like a ground-based one, exactly. He just had these kind of like two long flowing like ribbons of three long flowing ribbons. They are purple and they have kind of like this blue. Each one has like a blue circle.
Okay.
He is talking to a familiar person. He's talking to An-R-K, as well as an unfamiliar human. Much darker complexion. She had kind of like this afro hairstyle going on, and then she also has this floating head, like holographic head, and the three of them are kind of conversing within the church.
I'm gonna activate my communications device and let everyone else know that Anarchy is over here. And we should probably ask him some questions in regards to finding the missing crew.
Okay. Yeah, and so you all get information like, hey, Anarchy's at the Church of Triune. We might want to talk to him when you get a chance.
It's been like months since we talked to him.
Yeah, and it has been a while. You haven't talked to Anarchy.
Yeah, that's why it'd be important to get the hell over here.
Since he recruited you guys.
You gonna get the hell over here or not?
Yep.
Yeah, so you guys can head over there. And this is kind of going like at the same time, more or less. Everyone talking to these respective gods and stuff. But you do see these two figures with this Anasite, who you expect to be tier 38. His full name is tier 38 Mentor.
Mentor.
Whatever you want to call it.
That's what I'm gonna call him, Mentor.
Okay, Mentor it is. Okay, and they're kind of just like in the front where like a church, like where a sermon would be given, but just kind of casually, not really. And it's just the three of them talking. There's no one else in the church right now.
Okay. Are the other two with me now?
No, they're still talking.
They're still doing their thing?
They're still
Okay.
doing their own thing, yeah.
Then I guess I will approach that group.
Okay. And Anarchy looks up and he's like, Timothy, what the hell are you doing here? Can I say hell? I'm sorry, man.
Can I say hell?
Is that
that a place?
Is that a triune? Whatever. And Mentor kind of looks up at him, and Mentor is just like, he's still got quadrupedal, but he's still very, like, he still just has to look up. He's like, no, the triune speaks of no concept of hell, so it's not really a bad word.
Well, good luck.
Within the church, but yes, An-R-K is correct. What brings you here?
Well, two things. One, we heard there was some kind of a plant that grows here. It's apparently made like a metal plant. We were asked if we could retrieve a sample of it that would allow for it to be planted on other planets, that we would be rewarded for it. But also, I've heard that this planet has some kind of gears inside of it, which seem to no longer be working. And I'm curious about why there are gears and why you have sent people to go and try to get them to start and why they haven't come back.
Well, first of all, we do know that, well, we do not know of the origin of the gears. The gears seem to be within the planet almost at creation. More or less. These gears seem to be very old. There may be something blocking the gears, which is what we have sent.
Do you think this planet is natural, or do you think this planet was made?
We do believe the planet has been made.
Okay.
A lot of the Anasites believe in the idea of the first ones. Actually, go ahead and make me an intelligence check.
Jeff, you want to roll for me? No.
You got it, man. You have a 27 intelligence.
Ooh, I rolled a 19.
See,
Let's get it.
You gotta believe in yourself sometimes.
It's going to be 26.
26. And with the 26, he keeps saying, and you've heard this term a lot, the first ones.
Do I know anything about that?
Outside of what you've been told, the first ones are what the Anasites believe, what the Anasites call the people who created them. They don't have, they don't know who created them.
Yeah. So it's just like they're nameless, or they're
nameless, like entity that created them.
Yeah.
You do remember with the 25 in the books of 26, my bad. Oh, with the 26, actually. The 26, you do remember in the journals the mentions of the last one.
Wasn't that in regards to some kind of
There's something in the journal regarding the last one.
I have the journal notes. Why don't I just look at this to try to remember?
The last one?
Mm-hmm.
Like the name is the last
The
one?
name.
Yeah, it says
name
the last
of
one has
last
limited
one.
their abilities to stop us.
Yeah, the name of the last one comes up in the journal.
Yeah, that's all it says about the last one though in the journal. It says that the last one has limited their abilities to stop us.
And it's not in any of my notes, right? Because I think I have asked them to also look at them. Because I was like, I'm gonna get Zaz to look at it first, and then afterwards.
No. The last
So
one.
that kind of makes sense.
did
If the
not-
last one has limited their ability, maybe
The last
maybe
one
the last
doesn't
one is the
necessarily
planet.
have,
Maybe the
The
last
last one doesn't
one.
necessarily have anything to do specifically with Nyarlathotep.
Okay.
Nothing that you would have picked up on.
Okay.
Just like letting you know.
hmm some kind of
The
correlation.
The last one has been brought up, and only because a lot of the first ones
hmm
brings up that idea
Okay.
with your high intelligence roll
Okay.
to recall that information. But so you know, like Tier Mentor 38 is talking. He's saying we believe either the first ones created the planet in addition to the Aballonians, or we believe that Aballon isn't a naturally occurring planet.
Okay.
The planet's surface has been plated with metal, but even before that, there wasn't any natural vegetation. For the most part, the planet was seemingly a lot of metal within the planet itself.
Okay.
And of course, Anacites, we are sentient, but we have been able to replicate ourselves, which comes into question
With the use of factories and such.
with the use of factories, which comes into question that Anacites can be created.
hmm
And so who was the first Anacite to be created? We're obviously not naturally evolving species.
That makes sense. Yeah. Because you can choose how you create the next one.
And very much, Anacites are very much created for a specific purpose a lot of times.
Yeah.
Or they can be. These Anacites are specifically miners.
hmm
These Anacites are specifically
They're legal?
ambassadors. Yeah, they are legal as well.
Oh, okay. How can you be a minor and legal at the
The
same
drinking
time?
age of Aballon is very young.
All right, sounds good. Except I'm pretty sure they don't
So-
consume anything.
So then why did you send some of your Anacites into, I guess, underneath or towards the core of this planet to try to restart these
Well,
gears?
the-
What was the purpose behind that?
the stopping of the rotation of Aballon has been a recent endeavor.
Okay.
Only within the last, I would say, 100 years or so. Only within the last 86 years has the, because he would remember
It's a
exactly when
very
it stopped.
precise
Right,
statement.
He
because
remembers
he's a
exactly when
robot.
it stopped because he's a robot.
Yeah.
And he's lived that long. But only within the last 86 years has the planet's rotation stopped.
Okay.
Um,
Do you have any idea what caused the stoppage?
Within the last 81 years,
Jesus Christ.
we have discovered these gears.
Okay.
So the gears
And-
were discovered after the planet stopped rotating.
Yeah.
We do not know this precise reason why this planet has stopped rotating.
Okay. And
I think that's awesome.
So you
that
have-
86
Yeah.
and 81.
so you sent teams down there to try to understand these gears, but none of them have returned?
None of them have returned. We do not know if it is because they
You've
have
got-
gotten lost, if they have, we have lost communication with them. But seemingly, when you enter this air, as you further descend down into the core of the planet, communication naturally stops.
Okay. Due to the large amount of metal and such.
Mhm.
Yeah,
The
that
larger
would block.
and the shortwave communication between the Anacites only extends so long, about
Okay.
120 feet.
And so you don't know what's down there at all.
We do not know, unfortunately. No, none of the excavation teams have returned with information on what is down there.
I see. If me and my team went down there, what exactly are you looking for? Are you looking for a way to restart those gears? What's
The
what's
purpose
the
of the gears is
The
definitely
purpose of
on
the
the
gears?
highest of the priorities. In a way to potentially, if these gears are linked to the planet's rotation, that would also be of great value to us. But it is more of a scientific endeavor than it is it's more like a curiosity than it is a necessity.
I see. If we did go down there and find out these things for you, is there any kind of a reward?
Of course there would be, especially for outsiders to enter into unknown territories. We would of course provide some form of compensation. I unfortunately do not have a precise number at the time, given that most outsiders have not questioned into accessing the gears.
It's fine. Just ask An-R-K to put it as a Starfinder mission and we get paid.
Yeah, and An-R-K kind of just like stands up and he's like, I do have, with very high confidence, that this team, if anyone could access these gears, it would be this team of Starfinders.
So are they done talking now and coming back to where I am so that we can talk to An-R-K?
Yes.
I like his response.
Okay, so we'll say that they are approaching.
We did all our conversations at the same time.
Yeah, this is all happening at the same time.
And then you message us.
We'll do the Neolithotep stuff so we can all communicate with An-R-K. So Teresa, you approach this, and it is, like I said, the mask is not being worn, so you can't see through its eyes. But there is a mask on Aballon within this sector, and it is and with the mask you're wearing, you can pinpoint precisely where it is. And there is a church, and all of these churches same size as all those, like I've said before, but the only distinguishing feature is the sign, and all the signs have the symbol of their god of worship. So you travel throughout, and you do find a wand with a golden arc.
Okay, I'm gonna go in.
Okay, so you enter, and there is this like elven fellow, and he has these black robes, golden ankh like medallion thing, and he does have these golden flames kind of protruding from the sides of his eyes.
What the fuck? He's a World of Warcraft elf.
Walk up to him.
He pretty much is, yeah.
Welcome, my child. How can I help you?
Dad?
I'm not sure. We keep going places, and I stumbled upon this place. It kind of seems like I'm being guided here. I don't know exactly what this church is, or what the overall like worship is, and I'm just hoping, I guess, to get more information.
Okay, well, we are the Church of Neolithotep.
Oh wow, he just came out and said that. Okay.
Yeah, and like open mind. Like, it's not like taboo to be worshiping him on Aballon. It's more of like a cultural curiosity. So
Fair enough.
there is no reason to hide.
Yeah, what it is.
What it is, exactly. Now, with the Church of Neolithotep, we are more of a less, I guess, like accepted religion within the Pact worlds. We do have the ability to, through our teachings, we're able to more or less like warp realities. We're able to pull from different realities, different outcomes of events, and grant ourselves these powers.
So what is the
Sounds
religion?
to me
Like,
like
what
moves
is the worship?
The worship is very much doing chaotic deeds for the name of Nyarlathotep. So, gathering secrets, like lesser known information from individuals, corporations, stuff that our God can use for his divine purposes.
And his divine purposes, is that just to cause chaos?
We do not know the purposes of Nyarlathotep and what he wishes. We just provide him these information in the hope that he can use it in some form or fashion.
So you just get information that might be regarded as like, what's the word?
Controversial?
Yeah, like I guess like controversial in a sense.
Some information has been controversial. It can even boil down to secrets between two people.
Okay, I'm just straight up say it. We just came from, what was the place that we just came from?
It was
Burning Archipelago?
yeah.
We just came from the Burning Archipelago, and it was really weird. Foreign events, we talked to her sorry, and then I'm not sure what happened to her sorry. She kind of disappeared, and then from there, I feel like I was just...
We're gonna keep this
We came here, and I
She
found
kinda
this church.
disappeared.
It feels like I'm being led here, and I'm not sure why. Like, do you know anything about, like, that church specifically? Like, why I would be led here?
Everything in the universe has a reason. There are no, despite popular belief, there are no coincidences. Either Nyarlathotep is guiding you to his church for some divine reason, if that is what you feel, and in some reality, you are a worshiper of Nyarlathotep.
Do you know
Not necessarily
anything
this one.
about, like, her story, or if she had any connection with this church that might have, like, led me here?
Unfortunately, I do not know of Azori. The fact that I am the sole, essentially the sole practitioner of Nyarlathotep, I don't get out much. Essentially, I don't talk to a lot of whole people.
Can you tell me about kind of like the foundings of this church?
Unfortunately, the foundings of Nyarlathotep were, the majority of them were lost to the gap. Unlike most gods started out as mortals and ascended into their god status. Nyarlathotep does the opposite. Nyarlathotep was a god and was always a god. Some say that he was one of the eldest gods. And he constantly refers to human status to be amongst his people and to train them within the witch warrior abilities.
Do you know if he's currently like in a human form, or in a, not even a human form, because there's multiple
In like
races.
a mortal form.
In a mortal form, yeah.
There is worship of potentially a human form of Nyarlathotep within Akaturn.
Within where?
Akaturn. It is the furthest planet of the Pact Worlds from the sun.
And do you like know the name or the form that he's taken, or is it just like rumors right now?
His name is Karsai the King.
Karsai the King?
Carsai the King. On Akaturn, there is two major, I would say, cultist religions.
So they're not like super well known in Akaturn either. They're still kind of like...
They are the two major religions of Akaturn.
Okay.
You only go to Akaturn to prove yourself to a god. Akaturn is very much a inhospitable place.
So you would only prove yourself to one of these two main religions, or any...
You can prove not... Akaturn is more along the lines of proving yourself to a, I would say, either lesser known god or for a specific purpose. A lot of worshippers of gods of pain travel to Akaturn because, like the sea is made out of glass. There's this
just
black
the overall
ichor.
atmosphere.
The atmosphere is toxic.
Mm-hmm.
It is a very much a inhospitable place.
Okay.
So just the existence of life there is essentially for the sole purpose to punish thyself,
So,
to try to
but-
gain favor to a god.
but Kursari the king, he lives in Akaturn?
Kasar the king does reside within Africa, yes.
Okay. And you said that Nyarlathotep would be an elder god. Do you also refer to him as like Creeping King or Creeping Chaos?
Throughout the history, he has been referred to as the Creeping Chaos, Creeping King, the Black Pharaoh,
We got our
the Golden King. What?
We got our boy. Let's go kill him.
I don't think we're
Do
ready.
you know,
Yeah,
can you tell me about any of the other like pre-Gap gods? I don't know if you might have any record of them.
Unfortunately, I do not.
You don't have any?
My worship of Nyarlathotep has been passed down throughout my family, and it is very solely focused on Nyarlathotep and his teachings. There are very few other gods that have expanded since Nyarlathotep, none of which we have by name. Unfortunately, we know that other gods existed during his creation. We have since lost their names with time.
How would I become like a worshiper of Nyarlathotep?
If you truly believe in him, or he is seeking you out, he will find you.
I'm gonna pull out the mask and I'm gonna be like, is this a way of him finding me?
That is a way of his worshippers to find his worshippers.
That's how I found you.
And he has been leading you here.
Agreed.
Dun dun dun.
Is there... I really don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Is there any kind of guidance that you can provide me?
Make me a diplomacy check.
What is diplomacy? I could fail.
You crit fail?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. So you add your ranks. You add your bonuses.
Hold on. Diplomacy. That's 15. Do I still roll a d6?
Mm-hmm. You still do.
17. So that's 17 total.
Roll a d6 again.
That's what you
So you
subtract.
subtract a d6.
That's 4.
So 13.
What was the number that I said?
You said 17.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So 13. He looks at you and he says, if Nyarlathotep is looking at you, he will find a way to contact you.
Do you know anything about, I guess, divination? Because that's something that I've guess like seen or like been drawn to as well.
Nyarlathotep does provide several forms of divination. Some would say that his divination is more precise in some ways and less precise in other ways. Nyarlathotep teaches us the ways to see within the multiverse and see different outcomes and realities.
Mm-hmm.
So the divination abilities are provided from Nyarlathotep. However, for those lacking in the training, may provide incorrect outcomes to the future. It takes an extended amount of practice to be able to navigate our own reality with the different realities that Nyarlathotep shows us.
Is there anybody that I could talk to in regard to like I guess practicing or like becoming trained in this?
It depends how much time you have.
Well,
How much time you got?
right now we're here on a mission, and to be honest, I don't know how much time we have.
I don't have any.
I might have some. I might have some afterwards, but at the like right now, you know, afterwards, I don't know. I'm really trying to figure this out so I can make time.
Provided enough time. Make me another diplomacy check.
That's a nat 20.
Woo!
If only it was reversed.
And that's 15 plus 6.
Goodness.
Oh, wait, 4, 5. So that's 40.
Did you roll an additional d6 for the natural 20?
Yeah.
So you rolled.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, yeah.
So 40?
Because it's 15 diplomacy,
Mhm.
15 plus
So
5.
roll another d6 because you got a natural 20. That's
Oh.
how we're doing natural 20. So you roll an additional d6. So 43.
44. Plus 1. 1d6 plus 1.
Whatever. Okay. With. I can teach you the basics of witch warping abilities. Depending on how magically inclined you are, you do have to devote some portion of yourself to An-R-K3.
Okay.
He reaches into like this little pouch that he has, and it's this like yellow chalk.
Mm-hmm.
He pulls out some Cheetos from his
Yeah,
pocket.
he pulls out some Cheetos. He pulls out like this yellow chalk from his pocket, and he puts it in your hand and says, "If you are willing,
Mm-hmm.
Flavor blast.
draw an upside down Ankh on your door before you sleep tonight, or before you sleep. If you are
The fuck is the
Willing
Holy
to
Ghost
go.
gonna kill us on this shit?
willing to go towards this path."
I'm not gonna lie, like, I don't necessarily know what this path is, and I don't really know what I would even be getting myself into. Like, is there anything that you can tell me in regards to that?
I would be teaching you the most basic principles of An-R-K3, and if you devoted at least a portion of yourself, you would gain some abilities from him.
And what is the devotion? Like you say, devote myself to him. Like, what does that mean? What would that entail?
It is possible to devote yourself to different entities. For example, there are several Solarians who also worship. We'll say Saturday, for example. You brought her up.
Mm-hmm.
The philosophy of Solarianism and the teachings of Saturday as a sun god do more or less coincide.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially what he's telling you is he can give you, you know how you have like metagaming, like metatextual wise, he can potentially provide you the feat to learn 2 Witch Warper cantrips and a Witch Warper spell. Or
But I want to know what the devotion is. Like, would that entail anything from me in regards to like serving
it's not
An-R-K3?
necessarily like serving, like you pledge yourself to serve An-R-K3. That
Right.
is more of if you were going to like take a level in
Mhm.
Witch Warper.
Mm-hmm.
If you just wanted to learn kind of like the basic tenets and just like some more general information about him from a Witch Warper, you can tend to gain a feat which gives you some minor Witch Warper. You don't have to like devote yourself to
Okay.
An-R-K3. If you wanted to, you could like the next time you leveled up,
Mm-hmm.
instead of taking a level in Honorable, you can multi-class and take a level in Witch Warper.
Okay.
Or you can take a feat and you gain
3 feet.
It'll be like a free feat like Jeffrey said, but you'd have to do several mysticism checks, which is why it might take a couple days
Mm-hmm.
depending on how well you roll, but you would gain I think it's 2 cantrips and then a first level spell.
That's what it normally is. Whenever you
Okay.
dabble.
Okay. I just was like wary that like
Yeah,
it might
it's
be like
not
you're
like-
gonna have to do this for
it's not
An-R-K3.
like you have to sacrifice like all
Right.
of your closest friends.
Right.
It is very much like you begin learning.
The big vest comes in and just starts grabbing people.
before this
Okay, so
happens,
it's just kind of
who's
still
your
like
best
me
friend on the ship?
studying.
It's more
You.
of you studying. It's not necessarily like you devoting your
Yes.
life to it.
Yes.
Okay.
I will watch. There is much to be learned from this moment.
I also wanted to ask: is there anything you can, or like that your church knows about what is the Earth planet that isn't
Galorian?
found? That
Galorian?
disappeared? Yeah, Galorian. Like, do y'all know anything about that?
Unfortunately, we do not. We know that, like many other religious people, religious entities, we know that Galorian is not here.
Mm-hmm.
We know that Galorian was not destroyed within the gap. But we do know that it is safe wherever it is what the gods have told us.
Okay, and then I also have, I don't even know if it's like some knowledge, but I also know that there was a church for Neil Arthurtep on Castrovel that was destroyed. Is there any sort of like importance specifically to that church? Or like, do you know anything about that church?
That church was one of the main churches in Castrovel at the time to recruit other people to the cause. A lot of those members, well, all those members, bar one, was killed. A lot of that had to do with the recruitment of high class Castrovelians.
Who was the one that wasn't killed?
Let me see if he knows. What I remember, his name is Raz. He was from a high class society within Castrovel. He, for what I know and what I've heard, he's the only survivor of that massacre.
That name sounds familiar.
Yes.
Razzle Dazzle?
He essentially, his family will recruit their lineage, friends, colleagues, or attempt to recruit them towards Nyarlathotep. And they had some ceremony. I believe Raz's ceremony was interrupted when the Formians came and exterminated his entire family. That's what he tells Noki. I'm looking at Curtis, but he tells me.
Alright.
Timothy nods his head.
So I just have the chalk in my hand. I'll be like, okay, well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me about all of this. And I will consider your offer.
If it is his will, we will consider it. As he kind of turns away and walks off.
Alright, and then I'm
I
gonna
can
walk.
check another room.
Yeah.
Okay. And about this time, you get the message from
The summons.
Timothy. Yeah, the summons.
Get your ass over here.
Teresa.
But yeah, it's essentially, collectively, you get one roll per day. Mysticism check. Once you exceed 90, you get a feat that lets you learn 2 cantrips from the Witch Warper spell list and 1 first level spell that you cast once per day. Same thing to get for the Mystic spell list.
Yeah, okay.
If you're interested.
Yeah.
Here are the Witch Warper spells.
I'll look into that.
You can look at it. I'm
Okay.
saying it is an option that you have if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you around this time.
Out
you
of
guys
curiosity, does that same option exist from the mentor for technomancy?
if you ask them, potentially. If you ask, like, what up
Would
with,
you be able to train me?
I thought
or
you already had
something
Technomancer Dabbler.
No, when I
Like, you
changed my
changed it?
character, yeah,
Mhm.
that changed.
There's a couple new Technomancer spells in that book too.
Oh, really? Okay.
I could have gotten those two from like the new class that they built for us.
Are you shaking your leg?
Yeah.
How do you have the energy to do that?
I can't stop it.
What does that mean? Well, you're doing it too. That's
So yeah, you can talk to any. That's essentially what it is. Essentially, you can learn that feat from someone within the
within
that
that
church,
religion.
or you can pick it up yourself. It's just kind of like a way
Why are you
to
taking me off the board, man?
a way to pick up that feat. A way to pick up that feat.
No, that's how Timothy walks around.
A way to pick up that feat in game, as opposed to like when you level.
Yeah,
And me making up a reason why you have that feat. But okay.
I like it.
So you guys are heading your way to convert. You walk in, you send a summons like, hey, An-R-K's here.
Mm-hmm.
We might want to like talk to him if we have any questions.
Yeah.
You ask about the gears within the planet. Tier Metro 38 doesn't have like a specific number
Yeah.
associated with excavating the gears and stuff, but he says you'll get some reward if you risk life and limb traveling within these gears.
Yeah, sounds like fun.
And then An-R-K, and around this time you guys make your way to the Church of Triad.
Yeah.
And like I said, like you guys, as you guys approach, you see Timothy talking to this Anasite. You see An-R-K, and you see this other figure, very dark complexion, afro, and little floating holographic head.
Which is really fucking weird.
The holographic head, dark complexion, completely bald, has like kind of like this pencil mustache. And you see that the female, the afro female, the head is male. The floating head is male. They're kind of like conversing with each other while you guys are talking.
Okay.
And then around this time, everyone kind of comes in.
Who's popping?
And Lexington says, "Oh, Akron, I haven't seen you in quite some time."
An-R-K, you haven't been replying to any of my emails.
I haven't gotten. Have you been sending me emails?
Probably to the fake one again.
Have you been sending him emails?
Yes.
Well, you gotta let me know, dog.
It's the fake one.
Guys, yeah, I'll give you my real email.
It's just been memes
Oh,
that are
it's probably-
planet specific.
it's probably my meme spam folder. And he kind of like his eye like stops, and he's like, "Yeah, you've sent me a lot of emails actually.
Yeah.
I normally don't check that
It's a
folder."
good 300 something.
Yeah,
377. Hold on. It's a good 333.
Yeah,
Wow, that's perfect.
I have received every one of them. All of them remain unopened, but I will go through them at some point.
Cool. Also, did you know anything about Hisori?
No, that name escapes me.
Okay.
Perfect.
That's great.
That went a lot quicker than I expected.
Yeah. That's cool. I mean, I just think that it might have something to do pertaining to my family.
So what are y'all
but, you know.
talking about?
Oh,
Well, we should
Which-
go down to the planet's
which
surface.
lizard is
There's
she?
Giant gears.
which
They're pretty
lizard
cool.
is she? That's Noki.
Excuse you?
What? Excuse me?
You know who
Are
I
you
am?
asking-
I live on a ship with you.
Are you asking
I can
what
barely see you.
An-R-K and
Yeah.
the unknown
If
person
you two
is?
fight, I'll take
Yeah.
bets.
Is she
Oh,
like the leader of the Starfinder?
You haven't asked.
Oh. Hey, are you? What's your
Are
name?
you gonna at least be formal about
Luazi.
it?
Are you Luazi?
I am.
Hey,
Who's-
nice to meet you.
What's with the head?
I'm part of the Starfinder Society. My name is
Oh.
Loki.
So you must be somewhere on my payroll. I'm assuming Chiswick's-
Yeah,
you more probably
definitely.
more communication with
I'm
Chiswick's.
sure you've heard about us. We've been doing a lot of cool stuff recently.
And she kind of like turns to like the head and she starts like talking. She's like, "Ah, yes, Noki, you're part of the An-R-K Sons, along with Akron, Timothy, Zaz, and Bioto apparently."
Yeah, Biota's
He's weird.
definitely interesting.
He's one of the
part of the
He's
eccentric
on the
part.
sovereign side, but we do kind of keep an eye on him.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's appreciated nonetheless. He definitely helps us out when he needs to.
I would
When he
hope
shows
so.
up and isn't drunk.
I would hope so.
Yeah, so what's going on? What are y'all discussing right now?
Well, currently, we are investigating some strange, reoccurring virus on the Aballonian moon.
What the fuck?
It
Oh.
tends to impact constructs and technological beings, including several AIs.
You're getting a virus.
It was seemingly eradicated or quarantined previously
Great, now I'm going to
in the
roll even
Aballonian
lower.
history. However, it seemed to make a resurface, and we seem to have it coming from the moon of Aballon, and we were talking ways to stop it or investigate it without having to send any of the anacytes there.
Well, you've got some biological beings right here, and that guy, he might actually be affected by it. So I don't know if it's safe to
Yes,
send him.
androids definitely are affected
Yes,
by.
she said constructs. Were you
Yes.
not listening?
No,
You
I
do
was.
that
I'm just saying
sometimes.
that we have the biological beings plus you on our team,
So-
which I
Androids
don't
Are
very
you
know.
much-
saying I'm not biological?
What I'm saying is it
about
might
their
not be
bickering.
safe to keep you
What
with
does
us
this
during
virus
this one mission.
do
Hmm.
to these
And
And we
constructs?
I
definitely
think
want to
you
keep
might be
you
right.
alive.
It's probably better for
It
me if you guys
essentially
leave.
overloads
To the
all
moon by ourselves,
of
yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna say
the
general, but
AI.
yes.
Well, I mean, if we're leaving, we're taking the
essentially
ship with us.
it
How are you gonna pilot it?
Got anarchy now.
stops most functions to where they can only do functions so often. It can basically eats up all of their processing power, so they can only do essentially like one task at a time.
Oh, I see. And you said that like it had been previously quarantined or eradicated. Does this recent resurfacing, does it seem like it was done purposefully, or like was it some freak accident? Like, do you have any information on that?
We have no idea. We have seemingly traced it to the moon. We haven't been able to send. I mean, unfortunately, all of the probes that we were able to send to the moon
Or just yeah.
get infected by this virus. I personally do not want to. I myself am organic, but my exocortex, he is very much not, and he will be drastically impacted.
Is that your floating friend?
And the floating hand kind of looks at me and is like, "Yeah, that's me.
What's your name, kid?
It's Justice."
Ah, nice to meet
Your
you.
name is
I like
Justice?
that name.
Yeah. What of it? Your name's Akron.
Right.
I
but
know, it's like Acorn,
You got
right?
a cool name, and I don't. Like, what's up with that? Can I rename myself too?
If you want, no one's stopping you.
Cool, my name's gonna be Justice too.
Hell yeah.
But like I said before, you do have some biological beings on the Anarchy team that you are very much welcome to send. Though I'm not entirely sure what to do about
how
Timothy.
this is affecting the constructs? Is it some kind of a signal that is being sent out
It's
from it?
like
don't-
basically
They don't
disabling.
know.
We don't know.
Oh,
Well, yeah,
they
but I'm
don't-
saying like
they don't
how?
know
Yeah.
How?
We
They
don't
don't
know.
know. It's some form of virus. If basically, if you are in contact with the virus, you have the slowed condition.
But it has to have some way of reaching you.
yeah,
Because they
and
don't know.
nobody has
they don't
done
know
like
that.
any research on this before. You said it had been quarantined. Nobody has
We
any
only
knowledge
know-
of this.
The only way we have stopped it, or the only way the Anacytes stopped it in the past was to quarantine the moon.
Is that what's going on right now? 'Cause we-
Currently, yes. It
Okay.
seems the
And
moon was quarantined from all constructual beings.
What does this moon look like?
Just a chrome satellite,
like a
perfectly
big sphere,
spherical.
dude.
And she kind of looks up and she's like, it approximately would be right there, but she just points at like the ceiling. There's no like skylight. She just kind of like points. Approximately like right there currently.
What
There a
the
window?
fuck?
The spirit? No, there's not.
How do you know?
Justice.
What do you
is-
see that we don't?
Nothing that you guys. I mean, like I'm just saying, it approximately would be there in the sky at this point.
I don't believe it. I
Of
think
the
she can see
day.
through walls.
I definitely cannot. Justice just kind of triangulates the moon and lets me know where it is.
Justice seems really handy.
Yeah, you can say that. Considering I don't even got any fucking hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's all good though. I don't need hands. I'm more of just like a GUI, like an interface for Luwazi. I'm not really like, don't even have to be here. Just like to provide some dialogue.
After the quarantine the first time, there wasn't anybody that, like a lab or something that might
There's
have
something
specifically
about
like studied
Luwazi
this
that I'm
or
trying to remember.
Not on
So
Aballon.
the only leads that we
The
have for
only-
a moon
Whenever we
is in reference to Tsurk.
technological item came into contact
So
with
if
it,
this moon
Right, but that's the
was
Black Moon.
originally-
We already
So
know that
how-
one's on
how
a
would- I know
whatchamacallit.
it
Yeah,
was
but what if this moon was
quarantined,
originally
but how
made there and
exactly
then
was
moved?
it? Like you said, the whole moon
I don't know,
was
'cause remember
quarantined
the Black Moon is-
previously.
Just a
Did
mountain
they
range
just
on
like slowly
whatchamacallit.
push it back until
Why
they
do you
could
think some kind of
quarantine
a
the
signal
virus to
coming
like
out
a
of this
smaller
moon now?
space?
Huh?
Or
Why do you think
essentially
there'd be some kind of a signal coming
a
out
lot
of this
of
moon
the
now?
anacytes
I
currently
think it's because
previously
there's
living
someone
on the
on that moon.
kind of congregate up into one area, and then
That, or
Yeah,
maybe it
contact
has
with
to do with the fact that the world has
so
stopped
we didn't
spinning.
know where the anacytes that were affected previously
I
are
don't even know
now.
if they're related.
we do. Well,
I think
potentially,
they have
as
to
long as
really
they
in some
haven't
way, shape, or form.
moved
That's just
too
an
far from
assumption,
their
though.
original location,
We
we
don't
do
know
have
yet.
a general
Of course.
That's what we need to investigate.
location for.
And
The only
once
thing
they've
is
been
I'm afraid for
affected
your
with the
character.
virus,
No,
are
that's
they
fine.
then,
Let's do
like,
it.
a carrier and can
If you'd be
contaminate
okay
other
being
people,
slow.
other constructs, or is
Half
it just
movement
like
speed.
the virus has to reach them? It's not necessarily like transferable from construct to construct.
It is very
He also
much
said that you can only do
a
one
physical.
movement or action
carrier.
at a time.
Mm-hmm.
It can't
Would you be
be
okay
carried telepathically,
Mm-hmm.
but if a
Okay.
technological
Well,
construct
I
comes
mean,
in
it wouldn't
contact
be
with
great,
a carrier,
We're going to investigate anyway, so it's not.
the
I would like to figure
it
out
does
why
it's
it's
not an
happening.
immediate
That's
necessarily
exactly what
I'd
we
like to
need.
figure out, like, how the virus
infection.
enters.
However, it will take time, and eventually, as it progresses,
Maybe for you. I'll
they
have
begin
that
to
home.
slow, and then eventually they begin to cease moving.
We can find out about
They
that.
still do survive.
Oh wait, no, that's
Still didn't
Right.
kill
That's
them, but
Vanagon.
So,
they
like,
stop.
when they
I'm
when
actually
they
a-
are
Vanagon had a butthole.
survivors,
I'm actually a person now.
Do they come back to like their original
Wait,
functionality,
yeah, you
or do they stay that way?
It acts as any
I don't
disease
remember what it
would
You eat.
in
You have to generate weight.
for biological people.
It's not
My
So
thing
possible.
you
has
can
to do
fight
with
it
it.
off,
It's
basically.
not possible.
Potentially could fight it off.
But you
Say
could
the-
potentially.
Further
And then
you
let's break it
progress
down.
within this
Sci-fi.
disease, the harder it does become to fight off this disease.
Okay. And I had another question that I forgot what it was.
Have you attempted to find out how this disease is transferred?
We know it is physical through the constructs. Essentially, once you are infected, if you physically touch another construct, you transfer the disease.
Mm-hmm.
That newly touched construct does have potential to fight that disease, just like any disease with
Mhm.
biological people. But the further you progress down the track,
So if I were to, say, take a ship to the moon, I would not contract this disease until I step onto the moon?
you would not contract the disease until you came in contact with a carrier of the disease.
Are there-
Okay.
is
So
there
if I
any-
just kill everyone before they touch me, no issues.
Potentially.
Is there any early like symptomology of this virus that
I like
like
that word, symptomology.
It is very much their processors become very sluggish,
okay
and they begin to physically slow down.
and would they notice that like if
Yes.
we take
would notice
Timothy, okay, so
He
he
would
would like
slowly
immediately like notice like, hey, this is not right. What's going on?
Correct.
Okay. But there's no known cure, no known anything like that, right?
There are like high level magics that can remove this affliction potentially, but
Do we know what they are?
remove affliction.
Affliction,
Okay.
yeah.
Just wanted to make
Remove
sure.
affliction could do it, but like
What about remove lesser affliction?
I don't think remove lesser affliction does. I think it's only like I think remove lesser affliction deals with specific.
Okay.
I think remove affliction might cure it, because I think remove affliction does like poisons and stuff as well. I'll have to look at which one it specifically is.
Okay.
Well, it's essentially like a poison
For
And it-
constructs.
for
Okay.
specifically constructs that progresses as a poison would.
Mm-hmm.
but eventually it ceases all movement.
Hmm.
Like you don't die, but you cannot move or take actions
Gotcha.
if you failed all the way. through.
Interesting question on that.
Mhm.
If that poison progresses all the way to max, right? Can't move, and I release my soul, and a new soul inhibits the body, is it still stuck?
That body, yes.
Interesting. It's a pretty fucked up thing to do for androids.
I mean, they don't necessarily inhabit that specific soul, like that specific body. Like,
Yeah, but I mean they can.
they can.
That's like
yes.
part of how they
Mhm.
they allow for new androids to come into
I'm
existence.
assuming you have like a free trial period. You know? Like,
You get it and you're like, man, this
body
sucks.
cannot move. I'm outie.
Like a hermit crab.
Yeah, essentially. But instead of like the physical body, it's like the soul.
Yeah, instead of a shell, you have a
Shell.
Anyways, what's up?
But yeah, no, I mean, if you guys don't have any questions, we can end here and then pick up
Yeah.
next session.
I feel like we got a pretty good amount of info.
I'm just
from,
trying to remember.
I mean, I feel like we have 3 leads right now, possibly even 4.
Mhm.
I would like to talk to the mentor and ask him if it would be possible for me to learn more about technomancy and about what was it?
Triune.
What was it? Triune? Yeah.
He's definitely the person to ask.
Because I think that'd be interesting. Because I know there's a lot of technomancy stuff that revolves around constructs, and so I think that would be something that would be good for Timothy to have.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, essentially it's like unless you wanted to like take a level in technomancy,
yeah,
then it would just be like a more extensive training essentially. But if you wanted to take like technomancy dabbler,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm thinking
just a
about.
couple of like tricks and stuff. You
Yeah,
very much can.
a couple of things to help him kind of like understand how technology and magic kind of interact and things of that nature. Because I mean, I have mysticism as a class skill, I have engineering as a class skill, so it kind of makes sense for him to understand how the two can interact together and how hybrid like items are really kind of.
No, that's definitely Triune's whole business.
There's something about Lynn that I wanted to ask the Starfinder leader about, but I can't remember exactly
Weren't
what
they
it was.
part of the same thing?
That's
at
what
one
I
point?
think it was about. I think it was about
I know.
the desert.
Okay, so
whatever.
I know that the leader of the Starfinder Society was a part of Aballon at one point.
Yes.
I don't necessarily know if her and Lynn have anything together, but I do know that Lynn was part of that SS9 unit or some shit like that.
Yeah, that's
and there
right.
was something
Sandstorm
about the
9.
desert with him.
Yeah, I think
No
that's what
idea
I wanted to
anything
ask her about, because I think Lynn said that he was associated with, what's her name?
Luazi.
Loazi. So I wanted to go ahead and ask about that, just because that is pertaining a little bit to one of our teammates, but also because we're kind of closely knit with them anyway.
Definitely.
So I don't know how to ask that.
Well,
I
we gotta
guess
find a way.
Yeah.
Life,
So-
finds a way.
Finds a way.
Don't ask Timothy. Timothy's not that good with talking to people. He's pretty blunt and to the point.
So
Unless
Luazi.
you want it to be
Yeah.
blunt and to the point.
Yeah. I hit him with the, so what is your relationship to Lynn?
That's exactly what I was going to ask.
Are you part of the SS9?
So Luazi, I'm sure that you're familiar with who Lynn is from the Absalom station.
Yeah, Lynn is the leader of the stewards on Absalom Station. He also highly recommended Chiswick when I hired him to be the secretary of the Starfinders Society.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, cool story, bro. Anyways.
he's pretty much the one that mentioned you by name, saying that he knew the leader of the Starfinder Society like not too long after we all joined. So what the
Hi, puppy.
anyway, what exactly do you know about Lynn, especially pertaining to his past? There's a mention of him being part of an organization, or I should say unit, called the SS9. What do you know about that?
Secret Service 9. It's the same story.
And she kind of like looks.
Secret Service.
She looks at Justice, and they kind of have like a small like communication with themselves. We'll actually pick this up next time.
Does she
No,
does she say that?
We'll pick it up next time from here. Just because I'll have you make a roll, like a diplomacy roll for it, and if Bioto's here, he might be interested in having more questions.
That's true.
But we'll pick it up here with you asking if she knows Lynn's past.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Luazia, I didn't know how you knew all that information, but I guess we will go ahead and take this on for next time.
Next time
On Anarchy Songs.
Anarchy Songs.